Welcome everybody. This is something a little different. It's something that Dog and I have wanted to. Dog is here, by the way. Say hi, Dog.
Hi, dog.
Bastard. But this is something that we've wanted to do for a while because we both have our particular historical and mythological figures, battle royale type thing of choice. For me, it's Fate. You probably know that because of some of my recent videos. And for Dog, it's Record of Ragnarok. So, and both these series take a lot of liberties with the historical figures presented, partly because if they just look like they would have done in real life, it would be really boring. But also just because they want to, I guess. I mean, you see that a lot with Fate. They want to make this historical figure a waifu. I guess we can't stop them. So,
Yep.
so what we're going to be doing is presenting to each other a selection of characters from our respective series, and seeing if the other one can guess with a small handful of hints to help them out, because some of them are, I'd say, genuinely impossible to figure out without the hints.
Yeah.
So I'll start us off. For context, guys, this is what King Arthur is like in Fate. A woman. So that gives you an idea that there are going to be a fair few gender swaps like that here. So let's get started with this one.
Yes. That is Saber with her invisible sword that cheats.
That is not a saber, that is a Lancer class.
Oh, shit. That's not King Arthur? This is different? Oh, my bad. I thought you were giving me a freebie. This is a different character than Arthur?
No.
It's just a Lancer version of Arthur?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. I thought you gave me I was like, there's no way this new character has the exact same eye color, hair color, and the blue-themed outfit. And the invisible sword, too. But it's a lance, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I call BS because you can't have Excalibur be a lance, but, it's whatever.
Well, it's not. It's the actual Lance Rongominiad, which wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Which you do see in Fate Stay Night. It's what she uses to kill Mordred.
Oh, yeah, we do see that. That was my only issue with the show, is that they bring up things that were only in the game, or like, what is it called, a light novel or something?
Visual novel.
Or visual novel? Yeah, they bring up things from that. And I'm like, oh, that's great for fans, but for me, I'm like, where did that come from? Like when Ryder randomly had a Pegasus, I was like, oh, I mean, that's cool, but where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't really get it either because, well, I think it's just a kind of holdover because in Fate Prototype, the original concept for Stay Night, a bunch of the servants were different. Like, it had just King Arthur as a man. It was going to be Perseus as the rider class. So that's where the Pegasus would have come from, because it was his. But for some reason, they decided Medusa should have the Pegasus instead.
I don't think I ever even knew that was Medusa. Oh.
Yeah, I think you only find out in... I think it's hinted in Unlimited Blade Works because of her eye power, but she only really gets focused in the final route, which is what the movies are.
Gotcha. Because in the first two I've watched, she never uses the eye power. She never once does, like, turn to stone or anything.
That's the weird thing, because I don't think she actually can turn people to stone. I think it's just freezes people in place or something, because she does hit Shiro with it in one of the routes, and it doesn't turn to stone, so...
Seems like a pretty OP ability you'd want to use all the time, but,
Yeah, I mean, that's why she has the blindfold. The blindfold and, like, the long hair is supposed to be like, the hint that she's Medusa.
I get it, but
it's like...
Why would she blindfold at all? Is there, like, a downside to using it?
I think it ties into the way noble phantasms work.
Oh, you gotta hide your stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Plus, also, like, the whole thing with the weaknesses, where if they've got a famous weakness, you know how to defeat them. Which, Medusa has a pretty famous weakness.
Oh, that's why they hide their names.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Achilles fought, for example, you go straight for his heel, so you have to, like, hide the name. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, I'm learning a bit more. It's making a bit more sense. The show does a terrible job explaining a lot of this. All I knew was that they can't say their names for some reason, and I was like, okay, I guess just to keep it fun for the viewer. But now it makes more sense.
I mean, that is one of the fun parts of Fate, is when it's trying to figure out who the character is before they reveal who they are. It's not easy.
Was that actually number one? That was number one, the Lancer?
Yes.
Does that mean it's my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay. And booyah.
Okay, so it looks like some kind of spear or bident, I suppose.
It's a bident, yeah.
Is it Poseidon?
It's not Poseidon. He is in the show also, but he would use a trident.
Yeah, I thought that was like a weird decision they made. Looking at the
There's not too many hints here. I would say look at like the adornments on the weapon kind of help give it away, and you're close when you say Poseidon. I guess that's the biggest hint I can give.
Triton?
Who's that? I don't even know who Priton is.
I think that is one of Poseidon's sons, who is also the father
Oh.
of Ariel in The Little Mermaid.
Gotcha. Well, I know you've seen enough of the show to already see Zeus, so you know it's not him. Because you've seen Zeus. He's the wrinkly old man for some bizarre reason, despite being the youngest brother.
Is he... So it is from Greek mythology.
Yeah, and it's not Poseidon.
Because I was looking at the eye patch and
it's not
thinking
Zeus.
it could be like a weird take on Odin, I suppose, but so it's Greek.
That'd be a good guess, but no, they showed Odin, and he just looks... Oddly enough, Odin looks like Odin. He even has the raven sitting on his shoulder.
Nice.
I guess the best hint I can give is this character is wearing the opposite colors almost on purpose.
So you would expect him to wear black.
Probably.
Is it Hades then?
Yeah.
You were talking about like the devil wing adornment on his weapon. There's like
Yeah.
the hint, yeah.
It's pretty much the only hint.
That's a pretty good design. It reminds me a lot of Soma Cruz from Castlevania.
He's very Castlevania, yeah, now that you mention it. Very handsome boy, very yassified. I don't get why the eye patch. Because I don't think he even has an injured eye, because later on in the fight it comes off and he's completely fine. So I don't get it. And I guess he just dresses in all white because you'd expect like solid black if he was, Hades.
I think it's because I believe white is the burial color in Japan.
Yeah, it is. That is
So
true.
I
Yeah.
think that could be the reason why. I can't figure out why. Like, see, at least it was like a coin on his eye. You could say, well, like pennies on the
That would
eyes
have been
for,
a cool
for the
touch,
boatman.
yeah. You're right, that would have been cool, like to cross the river of Styx, but I don't even see that. One of the only reasons that I love Record of Ragnarok so much is just the artist is really, really talented and over-designs everything. And it just looks cool to see these crazy designed characters. And the action scenes are next to none. Like, they're really good. They can't be beat.
On the subject of over-designing characters, this one is decidedly
Oh,
not
shit.
that.
Oh, is this just King Leonidas or something?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Can you guess his class?
Is he not a Lancer?
I'm going to
I
check.
see a spear,
I'm checking
but-
myself. Yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean-
I wasn't sure if it was a lancer or a berserker, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't... Oh, Berserker would be cool, too. You can't guarantee that he'd be a Lancer just because he would be in real life, because the show has, shown us that it will change that around.
Yeah.
In fact, are the warriors themselves in charge of that, or is it just a roll of the dice?
I'm not entirely sure exactly how the heroic spirits work, but because different ones can have multiple classes. Like
Yeah.
with Artoria, the Lancer is because of its altered history, where she didn't use Excalibur, and that's why she looks older and taller, because in that timeline, because Excalibur's scabbard actually prevents you from aging, like Wolverine's healing factor. That's why she's supposed to be physically like a 15-year-old. But the Lancer version stipulates that if she didn't have that, she would get taller and get a much larger breasts. And
As you do. We all know that as
Yeah.
women age, they get the bigger boobas. It's just science, everybody. I don't want to argue with biology.
and there are some where it's basically the same person, just with a different class attached. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but that does happen.
I do like this guy, though. This guy looks like Dr. Fate, but King Leonidas.
Yeah,
Which is very
actually,
sick.
the heroic spirits are influenced by public perception,
Oh, okay.
and so like traits that are attributed to the people can apply to the heroic spirits.
Okay, because for a second I was wondering what if like it was just random each time they got resummoned. So for example, Saber could just randomly be a rider class and be like, oh shit, I'm a rider class this time. Well, damn, but you're saying it's based on perception. Gotcha.
Well, that's a funny thing, because the Saber class for some reason has the riding ability, and that's why she has a motorbike. It's just a thing that it's not a rider class ability. I guess to make it, I'm sure we've talked about this before, but I feel like it's because if, say, Medusa was just on a motorbike the whole time, it'd be like, well, what unique mount does she have?
Yeah.
It would make them less interesting, but it's just a weird thing to include. But yeah, I like to imagine that the logic with the Leonidas design is people saw 300 and were like, yeah, that's how Spartans look.
Well, if it was 300, he should be really naked, yeah.
Yeah, well, he is.
But here it's cool because he's like Iron Man. Oh, that's his skin?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a skin-tight armor.
No,
Oh, okay.
he's got like
Oh, I see a little
body paint and stuff.
loincloth now. I
Yeah.
see, yeah. I mean, either way, it's still badass. I just thought it was going to be like the really old Iron Man comics where the artist didn't know how that would look because there wasn't anything for reference, so they just made Iron Man wear muscly armor, kind of like
Yeah.
how Greek soldiers also wore armor that looked just like their bare chest. Same kind of idea, I suppose. Well, since you gave me a freebie, I'll give you a freebie that you should be able to get really easy. Because he pretty much gives it away with like what he's holding and all that.
I see a club and a lion. And it is a bit cheating because I'm pretty sure we have discussed how Hercules is a redhead in that show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that's who he is.
Yeah. There's an odd number of redheads in Record of Ragnarok. At least with Thor, it made sense. And looking at how different the designs are in the show, I'm surprised the artist even cared to keep that consistent. Because Stan Lee didn't. Thor was blonde. And as a result, most people probably think Thor is blonde. Just due to that one iteration.
And that's a good example, actually. If Thor did show up in Fate, although I think he would have to be a pseudo-servant where he's in the body of another person. If he did show up just as Thor, he probably would be blonde just for that.
Would that throw him off, I wonder? If he'd be like, why am I blonde? What happened? He'd be happy about it, though, because in Norse mythology, blonde is considered like the ideal hair color, and red was kind of like bad. Which I guess works for Thor, because he's meant to be kind of like the unwanted kid. He's even half giant, right? But
it sounds like actually a really solid idea for like how you would characterize him. I just don't know if it would work within the mechanics of the set. Like Odin is in Fate, he's just in the body of a different character.
What's cool about Hercules in this show, too, is that his weapon changes based on his labor, and he gets different tattoos on his body, too, based on it.
Nice.
I don't get why the tattoos. I think they just added that to create artificial tension and move the fight forward, you know? Yeah. Writers do that all the time. They make a reason why the fight has to end soon. So his tattoos, the more he puts on his body, are like weakening him and hurting him. His enemy is Jack the Ripper, which was a fantastic matchup.
Let's see. Okay. We'll go with this one.
Oh, geez. I guess my first question would be, is this character actually 300 years old, but looks like a kid?
It's one of those tricky ones because they use the name of a historical figure, but they're not, but they are connected to that figure.
So it's not a god or a legendary character. It's an actual historical figure?
Yes, technically. I chose this outfit because underneath that cloak is like a really...
Looks like a skimpy Morgan-esque bikini from Darkstalkers or something.
Yeah, pretty much like the entirety of the thigh is exposed. So it's like... So I was looking at it thinking, I can't show this. I just can't.
That's why my first guess was going to be
reasons.
like Lilith or something, but that's not a real person, right?
No.
But I was going to say Lilith or Eve or something. Damn. Okay, so little girl.
I'll give you this free one. It is technically a gender swap.
Okay.
Because the person whose name she is using was a man.
I want to cross over into a different anime, but I don't know if that character is 100% real. It's not Thorfinn, right?
No.
Okay. Because he's in Vinland Saga. He has the two daggers. Oh, shit. I'm looking at the buildings in the background. Is this character in Europe?
Yes.
Okay. Little boy fighter in Europe with twin daggers and gender swapped.
Well, can you guess the class?
Oh, it's still from Fate. I got to think about it that way. Yeah, so let's see. Well, I know there's another character that fights with dual blades, I think. Not a berserker, obviously. I already forgot all the different classes. I know it's not a rider, I don't think.
It's Saber, Lancer, Archer, Rider, Caster, Berserker, and Assassin.
Assassin, I guess, with
yes.
the two swords? Okay. So that means then historically also an assassin, I guess.
It doesn't mean literally they are an assassin. Assassin is often where they just throw people. Like there's one guy who's just a martial artist, and they just threw him to the assassin class because
they just throw him in there, yeah.
But consider that the implications of how someone could qualify for an assassin class, even if they are not an assassin.
The sad part is I don't think I'm ever going to get this one. Give me one more hint and I'll try to go off of it.
It's a serial killer.
Oh, it's with Jack the Ripper?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was going to bring Jack over later, but I decided, you know what? Because you mentioned Jack, I'll bring her now. So
what an adorable little murderer. Look at how adorable this little serial killer
yeah, because there are two versions of Jack. Because there's a Berserker version who doesn't actually have a body because no one knew who he was. So he has no actual physical form. He can just shapeshift into various people, which is a really cool idea. Way cooler than this, where this is based on a child who died in Whitechapel around that time. And is it's based on the idea of prostitutes, aborted or miscarried children, or something weird like that. It's just an excuse to have a lolly serial killer, and I don't like it. So the Berserker version is way fucking cooler. It's playing on the actual concept of this is a serial killer that no one identified and got away with it.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. Yeah. So how do we know if Jack the Ripper was ever real at all? It's a government psyop. The government was just picking out people.
I mean, that there are genuine theories that it was someone working for the royal family, like killing people who knew too much.
It would have had to be they knew too much because they weren't famous people. They were prostitutes, but maybe they knew something. Yeah, that would make sense. So I guess now it's my turn again.
Yep.
This one, I've specifically hidden the weapon because if I didn't hide the weapon, you would instantly know who it is. So that's your first hint.
So that tells me it's either someone with a famous weapon or known for using a certain weapon type. Now I'm going to guess, just based on a lot of blue and the fact that they clearly were holding a pole arm, that this is Poseidon.
Yeah, damn. It was still way too easy, even with the trident completely gone. I will say this too. I think it's cool that Record of Ragnarok reminded me of a fact I forgot, which is that Hades does wield a bident. No one ever talks about the bident. Everyone talks about the trident and how it's like Poseidon's thing. It's kind of interesting how like one weapon is very famous and the other one's not. I assume because we associate the trident with like the pitchfork of Satan also.
Yeah, but which is another reason why you think that it would come up more. Like Hades wasn't evil in the myths. He did some bad things, of course. There's actually a good video series by Lindsay Ellis, or it's one by Movie Bob of all people, that made a good point about how the image of Hades has been kind of warped by Western media because of the association of he's the king of the underworld, Satan.
Yeah.
And so like his iconography goes onto him and makes him a villain, which he's not.
He's not. He's actually the nicest of the three brothers when you think about it, which is still not saying much because that requirement's like on the floor, especially when you're related to Zeus. But yeah, it's funny how he's not that bad.
It says a lot that the least evil of the three is the ruler of the underworld who abducted a woman and holds her prisoner in his dungeon basically 6 months out of the year. Like that's canon. And he's the least problematic of the three.
And she's only let out to like date that one guy, right? I forgot his name, the beautiful man.
It's mainly because her mother is the seasons. That's how winter happens, because she gets depressed when her daughter's not there. And so the other god's like, dude, you got to let her out sometimes or everyone's going to die in winter. And he's like, fine. Again, it's like...
She's also in love with the beautiful man, but I forget his name. He's a human, but he was cursed with being like really, really handsome. And so Hades' wife, I believe, and also one of the gods of love, like I think it's Aphrodite, is fighting over him constantly, which is why sometimes the seasons are longer, because she asks Hades to stay out longer so she can date that guy for a bit more. And but whenever she's locked up, then of course Aphrodite can date him instead. And it sounds like a good deal, but it's actually bad for the guy because he's on 100% his time belongs to these women. So there's artwork of him being like pulled by these two women like on each arm. And he's like, no, please.
And again, it's funny that it's like, the Lord of the Underworld, like he's probably the only one out of the three where if you said, look, dude, the thing you want, you're going to have to give up partially. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. Whereas, like, if you said that to Zeus, he's like, no, fuck you, I'm going to turn you into a cow and then have sex with you. And you're like, no, what?
True. In front of your family. Like, you probably step it up even from that. Oh. Yeah, Zeus does crazy things, because Zeus seems to have whatever power the writers want him to have. Kind of like pre-crisis Superman.
Yeah.
I think one time he turned a guy into constellations even. Because he's like, you can't kill me, Zeus. And he's like, oh yeah? Constellations.
I know it has happened. Like, the tale of Io or Io is like so depressing.
Most of them are. That's why they're called Greek tragedies, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this one.
Are these all just going to be Saber, but like in different forms?
I did want to get like the similar ones up front.
It's a different class, I'm guessing, right?
No, this is a Saber.
Oh, it is still Saber. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do I guess then? It's Red Saber. It's Evil Saber.
She is actually referred to as Red Saber.
Ah, nice.
That's what led to the meme of Red Saber and Saber of Red, which are two separate characters.
Oh, really? That's funny. That's funny. That sounds like one of those ways that a fan would dunk on a newer fan. Like, did you just call her Red Saber when it's Saber of Red? Clearly, You're not a real fan.
Like, it makes total sense once you know the context and why they are named that, but...
It's like if a fan was like, that's not Harry Osborn. That's Norman Osborn, you fake fan. You can't tell the difference between these two green goblins. Idiot.
She is also a gender swap, and it's a real person.
Oh, so it's not King Arthur this time?
No.
Oh. They just happens to look identical because the artist didn't feel like drawing a new character.
Yeah, apparently it was specifically to make people think it was still Artoria, even though she has a different eye color, different voice actor, different personality. For some reason, they decided that's what they were going to do, and like they've never explained why, as far as I know. She just does look just like her.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny to me still how the writer even had one of the other villain characters mention Joan, who's clearly Joan of Arc. But I'm like, it's weird you bring that up, writer, when you clearly merged King Arthur with Joan of Arc already, because the character's already doing that. So it's kind of weird to bring up the character who's like half of your main character already. Now, Joan never shows up in that series, at least so far, but it's still funny to even mention your fusion dance character.
She does show up later as one of the more popular characters.
Ah, nice. Very, very good. So this person just happens to look like them, which is funny because that's happened in DC also. For any of our viewers not aware, it is canon that Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent look near identical and can actually be stand-ins for each other. It's happened before in the show and comics, and it's even been explained, yes, they do in fact look alike. It's not just the art style. They look near identical, and there's no explanation because Clark's from a different galaxy, so he should not look anything like Bruce, but he does, so suck it. So Saber Red, gotcha. Well, then next, just for fun, can you show me Saber of Red, unless that's already on your list?
She is not, but Saber of Red is Mordred. You know that Knight in White that Artorias stabs with the lance?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in a Fate Apocrypha as one of the main characters. I'll probably show you a picture later.
I can just look it up myself, too. Saber of Red.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She looks cool. I like her outfit more. But I'm a big fan of white and red.
It's a really underappreciated color scheme, I would say.
And the blonde also accents, yeah. Looks really good. Oh, why is there like a naked version where she's got like barely any titty covered? Anyway.
Because why not?
Why not? Yeah, it is anime. I shouldn't even question it. I can't even get mad. It's the only medium that still does that now. Not even Western games rated M will show titty or booby or booty anymore, so... Except Baldur's Gate 3. I saw there's some really ridiculous costumes in that. And I was like, I may have to get this game. Oh, it's my turn. That's right. I gotta give you something.
Wait, you still haven't guessed who she is.
I didn't? I thought I said that it was Red Saber.
That doesn't count, you fool.
Oh, I thought it did.
No,
so I gotta guess which historical figure it is.
Yes.
It's not Joan of Arc, you said.
No.
Okay. Shit. But is it a gender swap again?
Yes, it's a gender swap, a real person, and it's the ruler of an empire.
A European one, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Is that Napoleon?
No.
Oh, I saw the little pauldrons on the shoulder. I thought it might be Napoleon. Okay. That'd be a good character, too, to gender swap, just for fun.
I think Napoleon is in Fate, but as a man.
Ah, boo. Lame. Wasted opportunity. Okay. King George.
No.
Gotta go further back?
Yes.
Okay. Shit. I really don't know too many kings that go back further than that. I gotta think about who was fighting. Is it the king that was like at war with the North or not? Like with the Vikings and Norse and Celtic or no?
No.
Ah, shit. I don't know my European kings. Is it a king? You said it's a ruler of an empire, so I guess that makes sense.
So it's an emperor.
Is it a very famous like person that I should know?
It's very famous. I don't know how well this would be taught in America.
Is the person still blonde in history?
I have no idea. I don't think so, though.
Japan does like their blondes. They'll look for an excuse to make anybody blonde.
Yeah.
Then again, that could be because they know we like blonde. Let's see. Is it Henry VIII?
No.
Oh, that was like my last Hail Mary. Okay, I know who it could be then.
One last one. It's a Roman emperor.
Oh, okay. So is it Alexander the Great?
No.
Oh, shit. Is it Caesar?
No.
Well, wait, I guess, yeah, Alexander the Great was Greek, wasn't he?
You've seen Alexander the Great. He's in Fate Zero.
Yeah, but I don't know. This show has weird rules. Maybe he came back as a woman in one of them. Okay, so Roman. It's not Pontius Pilate, obviously.
No.
That would be crazy, though.
Jesus is a character in Fate, not as a summonable servant, but he does exist in the Fate canon, so...
He also exists in Record of Ragnarok. Doesn't have any speaking lines, though. He's just in the crowd. You can just spot Jesus if you look for him every now and then. It's like playing Where's Waldo, but it's Jesus. And he's the mainstream version of Jesus that's probably not how Jesus looked, but it's the one that we all associate with Jesus. Damn. Roman. Not Cesare Borgia, right?
No. It's way before that.
Way before that. Okay, so we're going really back in Rome. Okay.
Yeah, this is like early AD.
So after Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing. I'll probably know when you say it, but
This is Emperor Nero Claudius.
yeah, I don't know who that is. So I'm glad at least it wasn't somebody that I know.
Just for reference, that this is Caesar.
Exactly how I pictured him.
I don't know why he's so fat.
I'm more upset that he has a tie. The tie is the most upsetting part of the entire outfit.
They have weird modernisms in quite a few of them. I don't know why. Sometimes it looks okay. A lot of the time, it just really is like, no, keep it more traditional.
Well, at least they had the niceness to make him fat armor, so he's not uncomfortable. I forget where that line is from. Maybe from a YouTuber, but he made that joke where one of the knights had fat armor, and he's like, "Man, I'm so stoked they gave me fat armor," so he's not uncomfortable the whole fight. Yeah, no, I never would have got that. So
yeah, so it's your turn now.
Yes. No, I'm gonna talk for 10 more minutes. Let's see. Should I give you a fair one or an impossible one?
Give me a hard one.
I'll give you a historical one. That's the first hint. This is the first historical one. The rest have been gods. This is an actual person out of history.
Is that Nikola Tesla?
Shit. Yeah.
Because I saw the goggles and I thought, oh, so it's some kind of inventor. Oh, it's probably Tesla. And then I saw the bird. I'm like, yep, that's definitely Nikola Tesla.
You got that because it looks nothing like him technically. Like he's missing the facial hair and stuff. But this artist seems to hate putting facial hair on people.
Fate's like that too. A lot of them are very bishy. I'll show you what
we saw that with the most egregious one, like the main villain who should have like a crazy beard and very long hair, but they made him, like, you, to quote you, a fuckboy.
Yeah. This is Fate's Nikola Tesla. It's not one of the ones I was going to put on here, but just for reference, that's what he looks like.
I don't mind, except why is he wearing what looks like a dress almost?
I don't know.
That's my only issue, is it looks like a dress.
Actually, interestingly, I believe Tesla is, out of all the current stock of servants, I think he's the latest one to die, or the second latest. Because between him and that assassin guy, the martial artist, like, they both died within a few years of each other in like the 30s or 40s or something like that. So
yeah,
like, they're the most recent deaths of all the available servants so far.
Gotcha. Scoreboard. I double checked just for fun, and yes, Nikola Tesla does have a very iconic mustache, even when he was younger. So you'd think they would draw that because it's a pretty important part of his look, but he never has mustache.
We have to remember, Fate is so averse to giving famous historical men their beards that half the time they turn them into women, so they have an excuse not to give them beards.
Ah, that's fair. It's based, actually. That's in fact, that's also a similar reason why Goku's Super Saiyan form is blonde. It's because the artist got tired of coloring in his hair.
Yeah.
That's an actual reason why his hair is white. Also why his tail got chopped off and never grew back, because the artist was tired of drawing the tail. So, the more you know.
It's like a lot of major developments in Dragon Ball are because Toriyama got lazy. That's actually it.
And just a fun spoiler, every human has some special ability in the show to fight the gods, right? When they get paired up with the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla gets quite literally an Iron Man suit.
Makes sense.
But it's powered by Tesla coils.
I mean,
well, now it's your turn already because you got it right off the bat. Fuck me.
I mean, what else is he going to be, honestly? Other than Iron
I guess
Man.
the goggles give it away. That's funny. Well, then kudos to the artist because you made him look nothing like Nikola, but had enough hints that people can still tell it's Nikola.
Yeah.
Is this Boy Saber?
Yes.
What the fuck? I told you. You questioned me for saying, oh, they've already shown so-and-so. And I'm like, well, who knows? They may bring back like the same character but change their gender. And here we go. They did it. So am I correct by saying Boy Saber?
Yeah, it's King Arthur.
It is the King Arthur, but minus the cleavage.
Because like I said, in the original concept prototype, he was going to be male. And then they made an animated trailer for Fate Prototype that doesn't exist. Then they made a prequel novel to Fate Prototype, which doesn't exist, but the prequel novel does. And then a character from that travels into an alternate timeline and meets the female Artoria. And then this version shows up as a major character in Fate Grand Order.
I just had a random thought. Well, not really random, but it came from it was a culmination of my thoughts happening all at once, because I get that you have to make Lady Arthur a waifu, because that would sell way more action figures and people would attach to her more.
Three
but
of them.
Yeah. I also wish the artist had the courage to draw her look almost like a guy, but if you squint, you can tell that it's a girl. And then I realized that there's an actress in real life that could pull that off, and it's the girl who does Brienne in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, from a distance, if you show that just a photo of that character in armor, some people might genuinely think it's a guy. My mom didn't believe me. She still to this day thinks that it's a man pretending to be a girl. And I'm like, Mom, you're so mean. That's a woman. That's an actress. She just has very strong features.
I think there's a servant in Fate who is like that, where it's based on a legend about a man who's turned into a woman or a woman who's turned into a man, and like I think one form is male, one is female. Like when you ascend them in the gacha game.
I've heard that legend. His name is Ranma from the acclaimed anime Ranma One Half.
Oh God! If Ranma was in Fate, he would have to be an assassin because there's no other class that would suit him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you said martial artist can just be an assassin. Yeah. That totally works. I guess now it's my turn, because you gave me a lot of softballs that are just... you gave me like 10 versions of Saber already.
I think that's all the ones I've got of versions of Saber. Now it's going to get tougher.
Yeah, I guess I'll give you a semi-tough one then. Because I've shown you... I want to do this other one, but I've shown him before in our podcast, so you'd guess it too fast, so I'll do a different one.
Ooh. That looks like a Fire Emblem character, to be honest.
It does. It looks like Byleth, one of the colors. Yeah. I say that with my extent of Byleth being just Smash Bros. And one of the colors is the green, purple, and black.
Yeah. So I've got no idea just from the design. I'm going to need some kind of hint.
Yeah, it's a Norse god.
Is it Tyr?
No. It's a fair guess, though. No. Heimdall would have been cool. We all know Heimdall is black. Just kidding.
Oh.
The MCU movies taught me that Heimdall is black.
I'm going to need more hints.
Very famous currently in mainstream media because he's appeared in a lot of Marvel movies.
Oh, is it Loki?
Yeah, it's Loki. Yeah. Loki in both the manga and the anime of this show, they do a good job making him look androgynous in some shots. I mean, he's got shoulders that could destroy anything, so it's very masculine in that regard, but his face in some of the panels looks very, like, feminine, so... Also, he shapeshifts in Record of Ragnarok, so that part's accurate.
I mean, there's that famous story when he shapeshifted into a female horse and got pregnant.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know that story?
So by another horse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he was trying to lure it away for some reason, I forget, and then it mounted him.
These riders, man, they're all on something.
And he got pregnant, and you know Odin's famous 8-legged horse? That's Loki's child.
I didn't know about the 8-legged horse, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
Loki has all kinds of weird kids. Like the Midgard serpent is one of his kids. Fenrir the wolf is, and so is Hel.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the animals are his kids because he's also that's part of his thing. Like he's a god of animals too, right? I know these are not accurate, but even in the God of War games, Loki can summon the animals when he fights and stuff because the character is associated with animals. I didn't know about the 8-legged horse. That's horrifying to even think about in my head.
Yeah.
8-legged horse. Because I'm thinking, do they just put more legs on it and it's a normal-sized horse, or do they extend the torso so that it has room for 8 legs?
I think it is bigger than the average horse. Not sure if it's long though. You'd imagine it would have to be, but then again, you know.
Oh, this is like kind of creepy how these artists have realized it. Because I'm wrong. Because there wouldn't be legs in the middle; they'd just be at the front and back. So it'd be a wide horse because there'd be 4 in the front and 4 in the back. Damn, that's a lot.
That's what Spider Horse should be.
Yeah, it is Spider Horse. You're right. Oh, yeah, it's your turn already. Okay, so who's this? Well, this is obviously Alucard.
I mean, you're close.
Is it Dracula?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go.
There are 2 versions of him. That's the version from Apocrypha, which is the way better version. This is the one from Fate Extra.
That one would have been way harder for me to get. Like, I would have got it once you said, like, I guess blood, because he's a vampire.
Both are Lancer classes, but in order to not have overlap, the one at the top was made into a berserker for Grand Order. The one in Extra, basically, he just spends all his time simping over his master, who is this like clown girl who murders people. So he's down bad for the Clussy.
It's so weird you mentioned Clussy, because I was just watching Speedo Sausage's debut for his anime, Punch Punch Forever, which is actually really good. Everyone should watch it. But yeah, Speedo Sausage apparently was major responsible for the Clussy meme.
Oh, God. But the Apocrypha version is way better because he exemplifies how the idea of public consciousness can affect them, because he has two noble phantasms, one that's based around Vlad the Impaler, and the other is Legend of Dracula, which turned him into a big vampire monster. And he despises the connection between himself and the fictional vampire, and so he refuses to use it. And so in order to be made to use his noble phantasm, his master has to use multiple command seals to force him to use it.
So is it not Dracula? It's Vlad the Impaler, or does he just still go by Dracula?
Well, he goes by Vlad the Impaler, and he hates the association with Dracula, but he does have Dracula influence in his abilities.
So you could have dragged me along a bit more and been like, you're close, not quite Dracula. Who's Dracula?
I mean, technically, he had the nickname Dracula. That was an actual thing he had.
Okay. Then it's his middle name or something, or his nickname?
His father was nicknamed Dracul, which means dragon. And so he was nicknamed Dracula, which is son of the dragon.
Yeah. Okay. And his last name is Tepesh.
Yeah.
At least in Castlevania. I'm not sure if his last name is actually Tepesh.
Yes, it was in real life.
Oh, cool. All right.
The funny thing about that is that he's actually not called that in the Castlevania games. The only time that's actually been associated with him in the games is when he says, I am Vlad Tepesh, and then you beat him up and it turns out it's not him. It's Gilles de Rais posing as him because he's one of Dracula's servants. The real Dracula has a completely different name that we learn about in one of the PS2 games.
I think I already know the answer, but does Renfield ever show up in Castlevania? Probably not.
As far as I know.
He would have been amazing if he did.
he is canon because the Dracula novel is canon.
Okay.
Because one of the games has John Morris, the son of Quincy Morris, the American guy from the novel. When they introduce him, it's like, oh yeah, straight up, the novel happened. Which is like, we've never seen how that plays out because clearly the Castlevania version is way more powerful than the novel version of Dracula. So how does that play out? I really want to know.
Yep. Okay, here's the one that you might know.
Well, he's got some kind of skull cane, which suggests he's affiliated with death in some way. He's not. Yes. He's not just the Grim Reaper, is he?
No. That would be pretty absurd to make a Grim Reaper and not give him the famous scythe. That'd be like a step too far.
So I'm thinking he's either some notorious serial killer or a god of death.
Yeah, god of death, pretty much. Well, I suppose that works. Yeah.
Is it Thanatos?
No, that's a good guess, though. That's a very out there guess. I'll say he's one of the most mainstream gods of death in current time, just due to like how religion works.
It's not Anubis, is it?
No, that would be cool too. But Anubis does show up. He's wearing the dog head and everything.
Nice.
Which I do believe they're supposed to actually have animal heads. They're not masks, like I thought. Right? Like I think Anubis actually has a dog head.
Technically, it's a jackal. I'll have you know.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
I would have thought he was a Doberman Pinscher or something, because he's a very masculine man with his big pecs and abs.
Is he Greek?
You're really close with... No.
Some pantheons have multiple gods of particular things, so I'm pretty sure there are a few of those in Greece.
I don't know how to be more literal with the hint, except many people are actually scared of this figure today, because he's part of their religion. Like, people genuinely are scared of this person's domain.
Oh, is it Lucifer?
Yes, but can you try to guess his name, like his actual name, in the book and show? Because it's a very particular one of Lucifer's many names.
Beelzebub.
Yeah, it's Beelzebub. Lord of the Flies. Yeah. What I love about this design is that it's like just a Pope's outfit, but it's inverted, which I find clever.
That's actually really cool.
And there's even more hints, I think, to him. Like, you can't tell in this picture, but he has like slightly sharp ears to go with like the demon aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I do actually appreciate how the artist didn't just make him like clubbed feet and like, you know, talons everywhere and stuff, or like giant wings. He's just a dude.
What you're saying is you appreciate that they didn't just do what NetherRealm did with Serena and her demon form.
Yeah.
I think purple's also like a color of death in certain cultures as well. So plus also often a regal color, which goes with the whole Prince of Darkness type thing. So a lot of it may just be coincidence, but it does all come together to make a really cool take on a less demonic, more human seducer kind of design for the devil.
Yeah, really cool, and I couldn't even tell it was purple in the manga because, of course, they can't just color it purple.
Yeah.
I thought it was white for the longest time because here's a black and white picture.
Which does make him look like a priest.
Yes, he looks very... That's why I knew who it was before they even said his name. I was like, wait a minute. Clearly mocking the Pope with his outfit. They did a really cool job. For some reason in the show, the god histories are completely wrong, but the historical figures are more so or less intact. So they make sense, but like the origin of like the gods are just completely whatever the writer wanted to do. And Beelzebub's is quite tragic. I like his story a lot. It's very interesting. But now it's your turn.
Okay, so this one is a pretty popular one.
Oh, is this also a god of the underworld?
No, it's a real person and it's a gender swap.
Okay, I see the cross, or is that not a cross?
I don't think so.
We have to open a new browser. It's not. Okay, I thought it was a cross on his head for a split second. A gender swap. Looks, I mean, it's probably not, but due to the colors, it looked very Nazi-esque for a second with the red and black. But it's not, is it?
No. I
think it's not Hitler, gotcha.
I think the arch... Could you imagine?
Would have been cool. Would have been pretty ballsy to have Hitler in Fate.
And they're just like, oh, and like, you know what? The Fate style is, you know, you can't have facial hair. Get rid of the iconic mustache. It's like,
yeah.
I think they are trying to invoke a particular military uniform, though.
Yeah. It's not. I would have also thought this could be Vlad the Impaler due to like the red and the black and stuff, but it's not.
I can see it. Yeah.
Historical figure. Looks like a leader for sure.
Yes.
Can you give me like the region?
Japan.
Oh, okay. I'm fucked. I
think this is the only Japanese one to pick because it's a particularly famous one.
I'm still fucked. Mao? Is that one? Ming?
I'm pretty sure they're not Japanese.
These are all Chinese ones. Yeah, the Mao Dynasty, Ming Dynasty. Crap. In history, we had a freaking... There were so many dynasties in China back to back that you can memorize an actual song to memorize the order in which the dynasties were in China. And I have that in my head, but that doesn't help me here because this is Japan. Shit. It's not Zhang Zedong or anything, right?
Again, that's not Japan.
Shit. Cut all this out. Cut all this out. And Qin Shi Huang is also China, right?
Yeah, I think he's in Fate as well, but...
cool. He's also in Record of Ragnarok. I didn't include him, though, because you would never guess, because I don't think he has anything that hints who he is. Has a really cool outfit, though. Let's see. Japan. Can you give me the first letter of his name?
N.
Napoleon. No, I'm kidding. It's not Nero again. I can't think of many... It's not Nippon.
No.
That's the name of the whole nation. Okay, that was my Hail Mary. Like, what if he's named after the country? Nippon. Oh, shit.
The surname starts with an O.
Surname? I'll never get it.
So you're not familiar with Oda Nobunaga then?
Nobunaga. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Like I said, like the design is evoking like a Japanese military uniform because...
Yeah, the sunrise and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the particular story Nobunaga features in is one that's set during World War II.
Nobunaga is definitely... Oh, I'm thinking of, that character, I think. Okay.
I forget if she's an archer or I think she's a rider, and she rides on her muskets.
Rides on a musket?
Yeah, she has a bunch of them and she flies around.
Just a floating gun, like a broomstick, or does it have wheels?
No, it just flies around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she used them to decimate like American fighters at one point. The American bombers trying to like bomb Tokyo, just obliterates them. She's an absolute monster. That story's really violent. She kills people really brutally, which is fitting for Nobunaga considering the stuff he did.
It's just so funny. Because that's like cheating at that point. Like some characters like, hey, Saber, what did you get? Well, I get Excalibur, my magical sword. That's cool. I have a flying gun. And apparently a giant skeleton monster, too, according to this picture.
Yeah, I don't know the context for that, but I assume it's part of a novel fantasy. There is actually a version of her I've been able to use from other players in Grand Order. She's in a swimsuit. She's one of the swimsuit alts. But her weapon is an electric guitar.
Oh.
The giant skeleton's there. The hands come up doing like the rock devil sign while she's like rocking out as a noble phantom. It's so fun.
That is fun. I could have sworn that Nobunaga appears as a villain in a certain show that I watched as a kid, but I can't find it. So I guess I could be misremembering.
I mean, he probably did.
Oh, wait, do you think Onaga was inspired by that? Nobunaga? Onaga?
No, Onaga just means great dragon in Japanese.
Oh.
Which is one of the less stupid and egregious uses of Asian languages in MK. It's like, oh, that's actually pretty good for the Dragon King.
That's kind of, I guess it makes sense because in the new era for Mortal Kombat 1, you can just change lineage, apparently. So that's why Raiden is actually Asian now. Because at first I was like, he doesn't have to be, because his name is spelled and pronounced completely wrong. So you could still make him whatever you wanted, theoretically, but they wanted him to be a brother to somebody. I'm still wondering if he'll be related to Kung Lao, or not. They haven't said. But yeah, my turn. Gotta give you one. Well, since you totally screwed me with that one, I'm gonna give you a near impossible one.
I was giving you credit and assuming you'd know at least a samurai warlord, like the most famous one ever, but apparently not. No, that's my fault. Apparently.
How dare you? The most famous is the Highwayman. But, yeah. This one's a god. That's the first hint you get.
Is this a man or a woman?
It's a man. He's just very fabulous. I wanted to find better pictures for you, but too many of them were like artificially colored, and it kind of gave it away who he might be with the color scheme alone. So I was like, no.
So it's a god. Is him being very pretty like related to his origins?
Maybe not the origin. I'm not sure if this god is even associated with being beautiful or not.
So they just want to have like a beautiful man doing JoJo poses, okay.
That might be the only JoJo pose that he does.
I'm guessing from the sandals that he's Greek or Roman.
Yeah, you're 100% right on the Greek part. Good guess. I noticed the shoes too, and I was like, oh, it's kind of a giveaway.
Well, it either means he's Greek or from Outworld.
Also, if you look really closely at his shirt and just chest area, it gives away a lot of themes that might reveal what he is too. It's actually quite clever. If you don't get it, when I point it out, you'll get it and be like, oh, that's some clever hinting.
But there's a flower pattern.
What kind of flower is that?
I'm not actually sure. I can see what you mean when you said that the colours would give it away, because I'm sure that's what you meant. The flowers would make it very obvious.
A little bit, yeah.
Greek god with some association with flowers.
Oh, well, not even the flower, actually. It's a type of flower that gives it away, but he's not the god of flowers or anything. It's a particular flower with a name that fits the theme, but he's not the god of flowers. He's appeared in God of War games before, so he's at least famous enough to be in.
They did that many of them that pretty much everyone showed up at some point. It's like there's only like I think like Apollo is like the one who never showed up, like the one notable god who just never appeared.
Gotcha. Oops.
But is it Apollo then?
Yeah. He's got a sunflower.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You gotta like get really close. It's like a little sunflower with a bunch of leaves around it.
Honestly, what was making me think Apollo was that the lines on the shirt is like a sunrise, like that kind of pattern, like sun rays. I think that's actually a really clever design for Apollo.
It is. It's not bad. And the reason the color would give it away is because he's wearing gold and yellow in all the art. So he's just the color of the sun, and his hair is perfectly gold. They even made him have glowing gold eyes, which I don't think is accurate. If you hadn't gotten it by then, I was gonna just tell you that he's he's very important to the 300 story apparently, which I did not know that. Like apparently it was Apollo's holiday or something, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that, because there was some religious thing going on, right? Which is why the wise men said, oh, you can't go to war right now. It violates like our religious holiday. I think it might have been Apollo's holiday. At least it is in Record of Ragnarok. But that could just be a reason to have Leonidas hate him.
It's also important to the Trojan War because, like, on like the first day of the invasion, Achilles desecrates one of Apollo's temples, like cuts the head off a statue and stuff like that. So yeah, then Apollo's like, "Damn, guess I'm on the Trojan side." Then
remember that scene too? How like I think it's Hector that sees him do that, and he's like, "What? Why is nothing happening? He defaced the statue. Like he should be dead right now on the spot. Why is he not dead?" Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, once you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, it's Helios in God of War, not Apollo. Yeah. Damn. So that was a very unfair hint that I had to come clean on. Otherwise, you would have been going in circles forever. Is this also Apollo? No, never mind.
The sheep on his head is Apollo.
Oh.
I don't know why that is, but that is the way it is.
That's not Apollo. That's the fucking thing from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Karibo.
That's what that is, but it's like it's albino. It's like 100%, like one for one that animal. Okay, so is this a historical figure or a god?
Mythological figure.
Okay, I mean, same thing pretty much. The only reason they're mythological is because the Christians said, no, your religion is fake.
I mean, no one knows if the events surrounding this person were real, but it's a mortal figure.
So it's close to King Arthur then, where we're not sure if they're real or not.
Yeah, gotcha. that kind of vibe.
I'm so fucked. Is it a gender swap?
No.
Okay, that's fair enough. Is it a lady?
No, it's a boy.
It might as well be a gender swap.
I'll tell you this. The actual events of the person's story have nothing to do with their childhood. I don't know why they did this one, but during the actual events of his story, he would have been a man.
Is it Greek or Roman?
Greek. Which goes some way to explain why Apollo was with him.
Yeah. So there's so many, but I'm trying to think of like which ones. Is it Perseus?
No.
Ah, shit. That was my Hail Mary. Because Perseus has all the gods helping him out. Do I know anyone else who's a... It's not Hercules, obviously.
No.
Damn, it's a real person you said, too, or it could be.
Yeah.
Who's the other person? Let's see. Is it the person that brought fire to the humans? Is it that person?
Prometheus, no.
Oh. That would have been a good guess, because Apollo and, like, the sun and fire. Shit. That's Prometheus? Oh, yeah, I guess so. See, I told you earlier this would be my Achilles heel. The fact that I just don't know many historical figures. I know all the gods and fictional shit, which is not good. I should know the actual historical people too.
It might help. He is an archer.
Artemis?
No.
Ah.
It's not a god. It's not a demigod.
Yeah, you're
or
right.
anything.
Artemis is a
just
god.
a mortal
yeah,
man.
Artemis.
But he is an archer, and that's not just his class. Like he's an archer in the original myths, and that is
Legolas.
important.
The most famous archer, Legolas himself.
I mean, in certain versions, you're not wrong.
Does Legolas appear in Fate?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
when
I explain it, you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Fuck. And it's Greek, a Greek archer.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Is this the person they show for that one film company, to that film production company? They show him draw the bow. Ah, crap. Not Cupid, obviously.
No.
Like, I'm going through all the bowmen.
You don't have his own famous adventure. He's part of a larger story with a lot of players.
Ah, shit. I'm probably definitely fucked then. So it's like a side character?
No, he's one of the most important ones in it. It's just that he's not like he's not like a Heracles who goes around doing his own thing. It's like part of a large ensemble.
I appreciate you said Heracles. It's Archer. The Archer class. So I'm technically not wrong, I guess. Damn. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Artemis, Archimedes.
He's from a very famous war.
I'm going to be mad if you say a name that I actually know, but I can't think of it, so you might as well just tell me.
This is Paris.
Oh, Paris. Oh.
Yes.
Never heard that one.
Yeah, he's the guy who killed Achilles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And when I said, because you mentioned Legolas, I thought that's funny because in the movie Troy, Orlando Bloom played Paris.
Oh, yeah, that was a good hint then. Damn. Paris. I forgot his name anyway, though, so I never would have remembered that. I just knew Hector. Nobody remembers Paris, the coward.
Well, in some versions, he does try to have a proper fight to end everything, but then the gods are like, nah, we'll just teleport him away, and it's like, well, fuck.
The gods want war.
This is Hector, by the way.
Oh, that's how I see him. Yeah, that's fair.
He's a lancer.
Got facial hair. I appreciate this show's commitment. But come on, that doesn't even look like Paris.
No. I don't know why it's like that, especially when you have to remember this man's entire story revolves around the fact that he is the adult prince of this nation, and then three goddesses say, okay, say that I'm the most beautiful, I'll give you a reward, and he picks Aphrodite, so she'll give him love. And then she's like, okay, I will make the Queen of Sparta fall in love with you, and you can cook her husband and run away to Troy together.
Yeah.
Why would you make him a child?
Yeah, because I always pictured like Paris being like an Abercrombie and Fitch model, like just the prettiest, like handsome fuckboy you can think of.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, pretty much. Orlando Bloom is a pretty perfect pick. Although as a kid it made me mad because I liked Legolas and he's a total punk in that movie. I was like, no, you can't do Legolas like this. But also, kid me couldn't wrap my head around the realistic fact that weight class matters in a fight, and Orlando Bloom is a twig compared to that other guy.
Yeah.
I do love how his opponent tosses his shield away immediately. Like, I don't fucking need this. I'll kick your ass for stealing my wife. But yeah, damn. I'm like not on the best track record here.
That's one of the things, isn't it, actually? Because if your wife left you for Orlando Bloom, you're like, I'm mad about it, but I get it, you know?
Yeah.
He's a very pretty man. If your wife left you for fake Paris, you'd be like, bro, what the fuck?
Where are the sirens? The police sirens. Okay, fine. I'm gonna give you a crazy hard one then, because I'm just spiteful at this point.
Okay, so that's clearly a... Oh, I've seen stuff with her where she's like, oh, I'm dead muscular, no man. And another guy's like, yes, I love the fact you're big and muscular, mommy, please step on me. And she's like totally into it.
And yeah, and he shoves his face in between her titties. And what's funny about that memed scene is that the guy hugging her is already like 7 feet tall. So she's just like bordering on 10 feet.
I'm guessing she's Norse.
She is a Valkyrie, yes. Because they're all Valkyries when they pair up with humans.
The only Valkyrie's name I know is Brunhilde.
Are you sure that's the only Valkyrie's name you know?
Yes.
Have you played the recent God of War games?
I know you have Valkyries like optional bosses or something in one of the side quests.
Not even that. One of the main characters that has a lot of speaking lines in the new game.
Oh
has
yeah,
her name.
I've seen art of her, but I don't know the name.
Damn. And it's an interesting choice too, because at least for God of War, because that character is not even confirmed to be a Valkyrie or not, but she is confirmed to be one of Thor's kids.
Oh.
So does that help you out?
No.
That it's one of Thor's children? Oh, damn.
The only Thor kids I know are the two punk bitches played by Troy Baker and Nolan North from the first game.
No. It's not one of them. No, it's Thrud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's funny how they're opposites, because in the God of War game, she's like a cute little short stack. She's got some muscle, but the joke is that she's not super tall and like feminine. She's like shorter and muscular. And then in this, she's just absurd bodybuilder woman who somehow has pecs and boobs, which is not possible, but we'll go with it.
Isn't Brunhilde the one who kicks off the events, though? Like, she's the one who objects to the gods wiping out the earth.
Yes. I mean, like you proved, she's the most famous of the Valkyries, so they chose the most obvious name.
I think that's the one that Valkyrie in Marvel is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They don't often use that because they usually just call her Valkyrie.
Yeah, which still bothers me because, like, another character who's just completely changed the appearance of for no reason. Even from the comics. Yeah, that's Thrud. We all love Thrud. Why does she have, like, garter belts on each leg? I don't know.
Because why not?
It doesn't fit with her Norse mythology at all, but I do like how her, what would you even call these? Like, gloves or, like, arm bands, whatever? They're like a rook. That's kind of cool. It makes no sense because that would be, like, European, but, you know.
So, what I take from this is that you like women with big boobs and pink hair.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, look, it's a pirate.
Yes.
Clearly Jack Sparrow.
Another gender swap.
Oh, it is. Well, I mean, I assume there weren't many famous women pirates in history.
You say that, but Anne Bonny and Mary Read are in Fate as a duo.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
One's
go.
like massive, one's like a tiny little girl for some
I'm
reason.
trying to think of the names because I know it's not Blackbeard, is it?
No.
That would be so funny if it was.
He is in Fate, but he's still a man.
Yeah, you would think he has to be. Does he have a beard?
Yeah. It's nothing special, though. And in Grand Order, he's kind of a rival to this character. They weren't in real life, obviously, but a famous real pirate who was a man in real life.
Baba. Is it a B or no?
No.
Okay. Because there's that Barbossa is like one of the captains in Pirates of the Caribbean, who I think is actually a pirate in real life, but I'm not sure. Barbossa. Okay. It's not Captain Rogers.
No.
No, the Dread Pirate Rogers.
It's someone you might not necessarily think of as a pirate. You might think of more of as an explorer.
Oh.
But the person was actually a pirate.
It's not Marco Polo, is it?
No.
It's not Columbus.
No, Columbus is in Fate, though.
And depending on who you ask, Columbus could be a pirate. He stole people. But
I was thinking about the OVAs they did based on Grand Order, like the comedic ones, Grand Carnival, where they have a hostess club where some of the servants work. Like, there's a version of Artoria who works there. Jeanne d'Arc Alta has to work there to make some money. And, like, one of the people who goes there a lot is Columbus. He goes there spending a lot of money on the hostesses. It's so dumb.
okay, famous pirate. Shit, I'm hoping the Assassin's Creed 4 game will help me, but so far it's not.
No, not from that era.
Oh, it's even earlier or later?
Earlier.
And it's not Bonaparte, you said.
No.
Is that even a pirate?
What, Napoleon?
No, I said... Oh, it is Napoleon Bonaparte. I thought they were two separate people in my head for a split second there. I'm regretting this challenge because it's showing how historically inept I am. Why couldn't you have picked more gods? They would have had a better chance.
Think about Fate is like most of the gods are just in the bodies of Fate Stay Night characters.
Yeah, okay.
I intentionally left those out because it's like, how are you supposed to guess that this person is Odin when he just looks like Lancer from Stay Night? Like, how are you supposed to guess that? Come on.
Is it Drake?
Yes, Francis Drake.
Oh shit! Okay, cool. Yeah, thank goodness for the Uncharted series.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was just about to reference Uncharted to get you there. Yeah, this is one of those the gender swaps where they never explain it. They acknowledge that, yeah, Francis Drake was a man in real life, and in the setting, everyone thought Drake was a man. They never explain why. See, Artoria, they go to great lengths to explain, well, here's why people thought she was a man. Francis Drake is like, how can you look at this and think that's a man? What the fuck?
Titties are out.
Like, I intentionally...
Do they still call him a man in the show too? Like, do they even like try to keep that going or not? Like, oh, he's here, and then just tits are out.
Then it's like, oh, I guess Francis Drake was a woman. And one of the characters is like, oh god, because they've already met Nero by that point. So it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, my understanding of history is completely wrong. Oh god, oh no, and that's kind of it. I chose this art piece for two reasons. One, because the pirate hat, because it instantly conveys pirate. Two,
Yeah.
the way the cleavage is drawn, it's fucking hilarious, and it just really conveys, damn.
Yep. Well, and what's also funny to me is that, well, I guess depending on the artwork, but I think in the show, even Saber has like a decent sized B cup. Like you'd think that she'd be the flattest chested person ever to be like impersonating a guy. I guess you can always tape it down, but these things cannot be contained. You
No.
can't hide these double Ds. Like it's not gonna happen. Well, hey, I got one. My losing streak is over.
Because she debuted in Fate Extra, which also has Nero and the Colossi Vlad the Impaler. So I guess you could say that Fate Extra is very extra in the way it depicts its servants.
Yeah, well, again, we love anime for its exaggerated ladies, so I accept it. I don't like their lollies, but I'll get over it.
No.
I'm actually 300 years old. Uh-huh. This one is only possible if you paid attention, because I think you at least watched episode 1.
I got through most of episode 1.
Oh, maybe you wonder who this is then, because otherwise you might be screwed, because I don't think anything gives away who he is visually.
Very long legs.
That's true. That actually could play a part.
So, is this a real person or a god?
Oh, they're all gods, pretty much, yeah.
Because he looks like a butler, I'm going to guess Hermes.
Is Hermes a butler?
He passes messages along. He's like the guy you when you have a task.
You actually
that he's
got it
doing.
right. I'm kind of pissed you got that right, because he looks nothing like Hermes. But yeah.
I mean, I think
Yep.
it works. He's the guy that would be like the messenger, or like he was even sent to like kill this person with many eyes by Hera at one point. He's the butler of the Greek gods, basically.
You're not wrong. He's a servant. Yeah. What's funny too is that I don't think one time in the show yet has he used his powers. And when I say show everyone, I mean manga too. I'm actually very caught up in the manga, but he still hasn't used his powers yet. He's just literally a butler. At one point, he plays an instrument, like a violin, and that's it. But I don't even think that's a Hermes thing.
I don't think so. No.
Damn, you got that so quick. He doesn't have the wings on his feet, doesn't have like wing anything, and he still got it. People have made the joke he looks way too much like Sebastian from
He does.
Black Butler.
I've never seen that show, but even I look at that and go, "That's definitely like clearly the influence."
Black Butler is a very fun show. Okay, we got a soldier here. Looks Greek with the
Yes.
like the little wheat on his chest. So and I saw the giant columns give it away too in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he a historical figure? Obviously. Is he mythical or is he historical? Like 100%.
Mythical.
Mythical. Okay. Is this Perseus?
No. I don't think Perseus has actually shown up yet.
Okay. Prometheus.
No.
Leonidas.
You've seen Leonidas, you fucker.
Oh yeah. Hector. I've seen
You've
Hector.
seen Hector.
You showed me Hector, and I've seen Paris. Don't you can't laugh at that because there's been several recurring characters that are different, so you can't say that. There's like 4 different sabers.
True.
Let's see.
You were on the right lines when you got with the last few you were going through.
I was like in the Battle of Troy and stuff. I was on the right path with
Yeah.
that one. Is this the guy whose wife got stolen?
No.
Oh, damn. Thought I had it with that one. It's not Achilles.
Yes.
It is Achilles. Okay. Damn. Good.
He's a rider class, which I think is in some versions of the story he drags Hector's body around on the back of his chariot. I think that's why he's a rider.
Oh, fair enough. And then I thought of if it wasn't gonna be Achilles, I was gonna guess Patrocles. That would have been a cool one too. But the cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, cousin. The actual reality was that they were lovers.
Oh, the Sailor Moon arc continues.
You hear that, you're like, okay, oh, so that's why he gets so legendarily pissed off, because his fucking boyfriend got murdered. Okay.
Oh no, his cock sleeve is dead. No, his fleshlight is dead. How could they?
But yeah.
I got it. Yes, I did it. Okay, time for yours. Do 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 Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Here's a funny one, I guess. You'll probably get it, but God.
Well, he looks Roman.
Okay.
Is that the case?
No. I wasn't going to answer unless you asked me to.
Is he Greek then?
Yeah.
Because if they've got a cape, it's usually one of those.
Yeah, the sad part is the show has done almost all Greek, and it's bothering me because there's so many cool gods you can use, and they've only broken away from Greek like 3 times. The rest have all been Greek gods. Even Aphrodite is infamously in the show. You've probably seen images of her with the giant rack.
People carry them, don't they?
Yes, the 2 men who are carrying it. Yeah, always.
That's so good.
Women before bras.
Weirdly enough, his helmet looks Chinese.
Well, I mean, this is the same show that made an actual historical figure a robot. Like, you pointed that out.
True.
I still have no idea why he did that, because that character's, like, never explained why they're a robot. They just are.
So it's a Greek god.
Yeah.
A god, a proper god. Not like a hero, a god.
A god.
Is this Ares?
Yeah.
Lame.
He's also a running joke in the show. Like, he's meant to be made fun of, which hurts my soul. But he's consistently terrible in the show. He hasn't fought yet. I'm hoping when he actually fights in the tournament, he'll be redeemed, because so far everyone just makes fun of him and/or is mean to him, and he's used as like a recurring gag. He's the character that when something cool happens, he doesn't get it, so he asks the question, and then they have to explain it to him so the reader understands what happened.
Surely he would be the better pick to be the one who can just he's a war god. He should be able to analyze. Here's what happened. Like, if he's not going to be a fighter, he should be like, yeah, here's the deal. I can explain it because I can observe war things. That's my deal.
That would make too much sense, though. That would make too much sense.
Yeah.
No, instead he's always crying.
Isn't it funny how a story called Record of Ragnarok, which is kickstarted by a Valkyrie, is more focused on Greek than anything? Like, shouldn't it be tilted more towards the Norse?
Well, I don't think that's actually the name of the show either. I think in Japanese it's something Story of Valkyrie or the Battle of Valkyries or something. Because like Shujinin no Valkyrie or something.
It's still like Norse focused in the title, so.
Well, every god is real in this manga. Like every god is real, including Jesus. Oddly enough, when the god comes up, they don't ever give him a form though. Like the one who made Adam.
Yeah.
They never show the god. They just say created in God's image, and I'm thinking, which god? Is this called God?
The least they could have done is done like Smite, where they basically cheated and had it like, well, there's the Greek gods, and then there's the Roman gods, which are the same ones with different names, but it counts as 2 pantheons, so we can have twice as many of them.
Yep.
Which is funny, because Smite also has King Arthur. And I think instead of doing all these stupid Avatar and TMNT collaborations, Smite should do a Fate collaboration or a Record of Ragnarok collaboration.
Yeah. I would love a Record of Ragnarok collaboration just because I'm a huge simp for that that story at the moment. Just for fun, here's a picture of Shiva's wives. In fact, if you color them, they're actually quite accurate. For some reason, he cared more about making Shiva's wives look accurate than Shiva. Well, I believe Shiva's a hermaphrodite in the actual story. But okay, who's this? This looks like a guy wearing lots of red. Wait, is this the writer character but younger?
Yes.
Is that Leonidas? What was the name of that character?
Alexander.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I was going to figure it out. But yeah.
I mean, but you already guessed. You said it was the rider character but younger. So yeah, it's Alexander the Great, but as a kid.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yay! Also a redhead for some reason. Yay!
They actually did a cool thing with him in Grand Order, because he's paired up with Zhuge Liang, who is one of the pseudo-servants in the body of Waver.
Yeah.
You may recall Waver is his master in Fate Zero, but it's the older version of Waver from when he's an adult around the time of Stay Night.
Yeah, you had to point that out to me. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, he's the master of Alexander again. Well, they're working together because he's a servant, but he's like working with him again. But now like the age dynamic is switched, which is actually really cool. They do a lot of fun stuff in Grand Order, but then you get stuff like Paris, and you're like, oh, that's a bit weird.
I still have to watch all the animes now because there's still more. I guess I should finally watch them. You give me a lot of easy ones to compensate for the fact that I know nothing. Do they ever have Cleopatra in Fate?
Yes.
Do they ever mention the relationship between Alexander and Cleopatra? Like how they knew each other?
I'm not sure.
And how, depending on who you ask, it's very implied that Cleopatra may have sucked off Alexander to get her position in Egypt.
They do a lot with her and Caesar.
I like her drip.
She is like the angry tsundere who comes after Caesar for hitting on women.
She's goth mommy. I like how she looks here.
See, if you were to show someone all the characters in Fate and a list of all the names, this is the one everyone would assume is Medusa.
Mm-hmm. That's fair, because of long hair. Yeah.
You may also recognise that, yes, this art is done by the artist who does the Danganronpa character designs.
You know who she looks like to me?
Go on. yeah, that's true. That is true.
My first thought, I was like, wait a minute. Goth Mommy, Total Drama Island?
Fatal Drama Island.
Yeah. Damn, that's funny. Yeah, it's a cool design. I like it. Goth Mommy, but she's like that interesting kind of goth where she still has color. She's not just wearing all black. So, very interesting. Yeah. And she has a bit of gold, too.
Yeah, she gets more white in the outfit as you do the ascensions, and which changes the outfits. And then she eventually gets to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, I could imagine that's Cleopatra.
Yeah, the only thing that's blasphemous about this is like changing Cleopatra's hair at all, because it's very iconic, like the haircut that she had, like the shoulder length, like with the stuff on it, like all the golden bracelets on each like dread.
But I do appreciate the fact that they didn't make her black.
Yes.
Because they are sticking closer to the history with that with this.
But Snake, we don't know who her dad was. Could be anything theoretically. No. You can do whatever you want with historical fiction, but I just think it's so funny how Netflix is now likely being sued by the entirety of Egypt.
Yeah.
That's an actual lawsuit happening because you mess with their history and they're pissed about it.
all this over some woman saying Cleopatra was black. Oh yeah, what's your source on that? My grandma said so.
That is the funniest line. Like, they included that too. That's the best part. They're so unself-aware that they included that in the reasoning. Hey, but you know what? If an entire country can sue over that, it gives me hope that one day I can sue YouTube for demonetizing a video, and then when I ask them in chat what part of the video wasn't allowed, and they say, oh, we can't tell you as part of our policy, I should be allowed to sue over that, because theoretically you took money from me and gave no reason why, which you'd think is illegal somehow. I'll have to get a lawyer on it. The good news is, though, Snake, they dropped that demonetization. So hooray! If you complain hard enough, you can be freed from the shackles of demonetization. Your turn. Let me find a character here. The problem is you only have softballs left, I feel like. These are all like ones you'd be able to know. Unless you just forgot our conversations, in which case you would not know. Which you might have forgotten.
A few details did come back to me, like the whole Thor being a redhead and Heracles being a redhead and whatnot. Like, some of that did come back, so you never know.
I'm so glad that I got over, or I still kept watching the show, because I wanted to stop watching the instant I saw Thor. I thought this does not even look like Thor. But then I was humbled because I didn't know Thor was a redhead, thanks to Marvel. All right, here's yours.
I do remember you showing me this. Is that Leonidas?
Yeah.
It's the shield, honestly, that gives it away.
The Spartan symbol, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This one actually looks a lot like him in Fate, actually, William Tell.
Uh-oh. Maybe they stole from each other.
This is his initial form.
Oh, yeah. The haircut looks like identical. The hair and face.
Then you see this, the final version. Like, oh yeah, that's why everyone compares him to Big Boss. Got a fucking eye patch.
What is that thing that he's holding? Is that like a giant crossbow? What is that?
Yeah, he's an archer class, so it's a big.
Is he wearing a ghillie
crossbow.
Suit cape?
Yes. Which honestly
fantastic.
is pretty fucking swag. Let's be real.
Why does he have an eye patch suddenly in one of them?
I think it's just to look like Big Boss.
It is, right? It's got to be. Okay. I wonder if the Record of Ragnarok guy's doing the same thing, because that looks just like what Snake would wear. Like, to me at least. And I get why. It's because King Leonidas, if he was immortal and brought to like the modern era, would use whatever gives him an advantage. So if that's what modern soldiers wear, he'd probably wear it. So that part makes sense. I have no idea where he learned to like cigars, though. I don't think they existed yet.
I think there are a couple of fate servants that also smoke like that, and I'm like, why? The cigarettes didn't exist yet.
They found a way. Cigars are like a whole different thing, by the way. Like, if you ever try a cigar, just my warning to you is they get you buzzed just like alcohol, so don't overdo it. Like, you can get shit-faced on cigars, which I did not know. Is this also from Fate?
Yes.
Looks like fan art. Is that Blackbeard?
Yeah.
Huh. Why the horse skulls?
I'm not sure. I think it's lame because this is like his final form. And like, what about the whole thing where he like lights his beard on fire to look like a demon? Why isn't that part of it?
So that is actually true. That they didn't make that up for Assassin's Creed. He did in fact light the wicks on his beard on fire to look demonic. Cool.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. The mental game.
Yeah, the mental game is meant to be part of his character here, but I don't think it works. The current arc I'm on in Grand Order, he's the antagonist, and you're working alongside Drake. And his whole thing is, he talks in like chat speech, he says lol all the time. He's simping over a waifu, tells her to step on him barefoot, specifically, he specifies that. And supposedly, because someone on Twitter told me, he's basically like playing the fool to throw people off, it's part of the psychological mind games. I'm like, but he's fucking lame.
Yeah.
The only good thing about him is, in the gag OVA series, one of the stories is him leading like a workers' revolt against like the player character, because a lot of them are just being left behind and not being given any work. He leads this workers' revolt at the end.
I just realized too that his weapon is supposed to be a reimagining of a hook. Took me a second. Did Blackbeard have a hook?
No.
But just the pirate theme.
Because he's like the iconic pirate.
Yeah. I like how it's his middle finger.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the softball. That was an easy one. Okay. Let's see. What do I have left for you? I can't give you these. There's like 3 that you will get like instantly bing, bang, boom.
Just go for it. Go on.
I'm killing too much time. Gotcha. There you go.
This guy looks to be some kind of king of the gods in some pantheon.
Yeah.
Is this a less crusty Zeus?
Yeah.
It's like dry Ganondorf from that first trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. Then he's like, you get the big, beefy, sexy version at the end.
Yeah, I feel like my own personal headcanon is that the writer of Record of Ragnarok discovered after writing the first few chapters, like, wait, Zeus is the youngest sibling? I just assumed because he was king of the gods that he'd be like the oldest one. Because that's how, like, for some reason in a lot of Japan mythos and even in like the modern day mangas and stuff, that's how they feel. Like the older you get, the stronger you get for some reason. So like usually the strongest one in the family is like the eldest sibling.
Yeah.
So he probably assumed that, which is why Zeus looks like a Master Roshi kind of character. Then he realized, oh wait, Zeus is the youngest. So in flashbacks, here's how Zeus looks, and Poseidon and Hades look the same. But for some reason, Zeus looks like a young, arrogant, like bully you'd see on the playground at middle school. Well, not middle school, but like his smile has that middle school vibe. Yes, it is young Zeus. You got it. Oh shit. Okay, so we got the church in the background. This is definitely Europe or France, maybe.
Specifically France.
Oh,
yes.
this is Lancelot.
Nope.
No shit. Kind of looks like him because they have the helmet fall off when he's a berserker.
Lancelot has a very different form as a non-berserker.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have a design yet, so that's what the anime came up with.
Is this the Crusader?
No.
Okay, never mind. I didn't think so, and if it was, I'd be fucked because I don't know any Crusaders by name. Historical figure or mythical historical like Arthur?
Proper historical.
Proper historical. Okay. I may be truly fucked then. This is not Joan of Arc.
No. You have seen...
Is this actually the villain?
What villain?
Is this the villain that thinks that King Arthur is Joan?
Yes, this is Saber Gilles de Rais. This is him before Jean died and he went insane.
Thank God the faces look similar.
When he gets intense, his eyes do start going that way, but yeah.
Well, typical anime eyes, yeah. So, Joan was French too? Am I correct about that? Or?
Yes.
So I was right about the French part too, at least. I didn't just rely on the show. I was getting the hints because I was actually in France and got to see some stuff like that. Oh, this is him also.
No, this is Lancelot.
Oh, I was going to say, if that was the same guy, I would never have got it. Yeah. Okay. I love the cape cross. That's super interesting. Be a bitch to draw, though. Because I drew a superhero recently, and I tried to do a split cape, where it's like a cape split in two with a gap in the middle. But whenever I draw it and I show it to friends, they're like, I can't really tell it's a cape. It looks like she has wings or something. And I'm like, yeah, damn it. I was trying to do a new type of cape, and it's just not working. This is a good example of a new type of cape that looks cool. Like, I like this. I did not like the explanation for why Leonidas went mad, because it fit King Arthur way more. But, you know, considering how he was cheated on and shit. Oh, yeah, it's your turn. Sorry. Let's go. Here's a free one, pretty much.
Are you sure it's free?
Yeah. No, it's actually very hard. You'll never get it. It's impossible.
Is this a god then, or a human?
Oh, this is a human. Thanks for asking. Yeah, sorry, I should have explained. It's one of the few humans on my list. Quite British.
I don't know why I'm leaning towards Moriarty.
That would have been good. No.
But it's not him or Holmes.
No. That would have been a cool character to include, man. But I guess Holmes is technically fictional, isn't he?
Yeah, they're both in Fate, though.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't think Record of Ragnarok has done any theoretical people except for Adam. I think the rest have all been literally people from history.
So you said he's British.
I believe so. Yeah, he's at least European.
Roughly what part of history is he from?
Oh, I wouldn't actually know, but I guess the biggest hint I can give is that you've already given this character on your side.
Oh. See if you can remember who I have given then.
Don't you cheat. Don't scroll through. It's cheating.
Damn, fine.
That's like
fine.
me using Google.
I'm dreading it being Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of the theories about Jack the Ripper are that he was some kind of aristocrat. I've often seen as like a doctor, like the royal physician, murdering prostitutes who might have slept with the
I like that theory.
one of the royals, and so there was this comic that told the story. There's a film based on it too called From Hell, and that used that idea that he's the royal physician going around killing women who could potentially sire a bastard offspring from one of the royals.
That would be a cool theory too, because didn't he like surgically kill a lot of the people like with what looked like surgical weapons?
Yeah, a lot of the cutting was done with precision, so a lot of people thought it must be some kind of professional, possibly a surgeon or a butcher.
You're giving the artist a lot of credit, though. I think you may be overthinking it. I'm pretty sure the reason he looks this way is just because every character in that series is extra. Like, they're just over-designed to hell and back. And so he just added everything British he could think of. So the hat with the feathers, with the clock, is his watch clock, or the chain clock watch.
Yeah.
The big cloak. He's wearing like 5 layers of jacket.
Yeah.
And he's got very nice shoes, too. Because in the story, he has no hint towards any of that. They only show his childhood. And it's actually quite interesting. I recommend you just read his section if you want to see why he kills prostitutes. It's quite interesting, I think.
And then it is an example of when Fate will depict someone and then they become a real character later and they have a completely different design. So this is how Fate Zero depicts this one guy from Lance's backstory. And then as an actual character, this is what he looks like.
Wow. Just straight up became the kid from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. And he's like the one servant that's been confirmed to have fought in the World War II Grail War in the main timeline.
That's funny. So it's like the artist just decided, I want to change this look entirely, and I'm not going to explain why. Just deal with it. Why did you dread that being Jack's design? Just because it looks too fancy?
I'm not really sure. It just doesn't feel quite right for Jack.
Gotcha.
If this was his design in Fate, I'd say it was definitely intentional that they did it, because Fate does tend to do a lot of research into stuff and kind of educational at times. The story in Grand Order at first is going to 7 key points in history that are like major turning points. The reason you go into working with Francis Drake is because Drake exploring the world is like a major part of the Age of Discovery. Or you have Nero with like the rise of the Roman Empire and conquest and how Roman society influenced so many other parts of the world. So it's like someone's trying to disrupt history to destroy humanity.
Yeah, your show definitely does way more research than my show's author does. But
Oh,
at least the artist is really good at doing jacked up faces, so he looks more Jack the Ripper when he's going insane or crazy.
You want to know how I got these scars?
He's literally doing that, though. He's got like blood on his lips. He's doing the whole like bloody smile thing in that moment.
Oh, sad.
What I like too is that he has a dichotomy, because whenever he's not killing and acting psycho, you'll just see him in a room sipping tea like a regular gentleman. And then he's like, oh, off to kill now, yes? Is it killing time? So do I guess this character that you gave me or no?
No, I was just showing you as an
Gotcha,
example.
gotcha. I thought so, but I just didn't want to hold you up if that was the point.
I don't know how to say his name. It's spelled Fionn Mac Cumhale. I don't know how it's said.
Oh, because
It's
he's never shown up
funny.
in the show, so you can't actually know how it's pronounced.
It's
Gotcha.
funny because his name has cum in it, but I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, because I'm pretty sure it's Irish, and the Irish have really weird ways pronounced compared to how it's spelled.
Ah, yes.
This is the one you're going to be guessing.
And this is gender bend or no?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, great. Goody. Are they ever gender bent the other way, where ladies are men?
No.
I didn't think
Never.
so. I knew the answer, but I just had to ask. Okay.
I think part of it is because if they didn't do any
this
gender
Merlin?
bending... No.
Oh, I thought Archimedes was on his shoulder right there. Athena?
No. This is a historical figure.
I know. I just thought, I guess Athena because the bird. I'm really surprised that it's not Merlin or Archimedes. It's not Sherlock Holmes or...
No.
No, okay. And it's not Moriarty or any of them.
No.
Is it someone who's actually known for magic, or did they just add that because they're a caster?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So it's not Houdini or anything. Is this Tesla?
No.
Oh. Okay.
There are some things in the character design that can give you a hint about the era, or maybe some of the things the person might have been known for.
Yeah, I saw the bird everywhere. I see lots of birds. I see a book of alchemy. Does that have anything or no?
No.
Shit. What region?
Europe.
Oh, well, that nearly narrows it down.
Okay, Italy.
Oh, it's not Cesare Borgia, right?
No. That is the right era.
Okay. Is it a Borgia of any kind?
No.
Okay. Trying to think who else are in the Assassin's Creed games.
I was going to say, if you just go through characters from the Ezio era, you'll get it eventually.
Oh, is it Ezio's rival, that little punk kid?
No.
Okay. Oh, shit. I keep thinking Cesare because it's even like the bright red.
It's one of the most famous people from that era.
It's not Henry VIII or anything, right? Or
No.
that's probably the wrong. That's wrong entirely. That's wrong era.
Yes.
Shut up.
Very wrong.
To me, it's all one big history. To me, they could all mingle for all I would know. Who else shows up that wears a bunch of red? Does the red even matter or not in Assassin's Creed? Do they wear red there too? Oh, it's not Da Vinci, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Leonardo. I gotta say Leonardo because Da Vinci's just a place. So yeah, Leonardo. Cool.
Here's the reason why.
Mona Lisa.
Yeah, he's specifically manifested in the form of Mona Lisa because he can.
That's still wrong though. She didn't have blue hair.
That's just the light. But he's really fucking stoked about being able to be a woman.
He probably would be. I would be too. I'm so fucking stoked to be a chick. Though I wouldn't enjoy the periods. I wouldn't enjoy that, but...
That's the caster version. I'll show you the rider version. And you'll be a lot less happy about that version.
He's shown up multiple times? Okay.
It's like, the rider version is a child.
Just younger, yeah. I didn't even notice any changes to, like, weaponry or anything. They just made him younger. Or her younger. Well, how adorable.
Just for context, this is Merlin.
Hell yeah.
He also showed up in the old Stay Night anime, but it was
Where
like,
is he
again,
grabbing
it
the
didn't,
staff?
it didn't have a design.
Trying to find his hand.
It's under the pink part.
Oh, yes, okay. Because for a
Yeah.
split second, I thought the top of it was like a claw hand grabbing it, but no, it's just the actual staff looks like that. It looks very ridiculous. Well, at least this version of Merlin is better than what we got in Seven Deadly Sins. Just a busty woman. Is that also Merlin?
Yeah, that's a prototype version, because it was going to be that Merlin was gender swapped instead of Arthur. But then when they made Arthur gender swapped, Merlin wasn't.
I see. And Merlin is the one responsible for the infamous adding of certain appendages to make progeny possible.
Yes.
That's the most PG-13 way I could have worded that. Good job, me. Or PG even, not even 13. Progeny, yeah, and appendage. All right. I think all you have left are softballs, so you should be able to get all these. Hoya!
That's the one who kickstarts everything, isn't she?
I don't know. Yeah.
I remember the design now that I see it, yeah.
Who is
Pretty
it?
cool. Brunhilde.
Yeah. I could have actually been a dick to you and said no. That's actually, oh damn, I forgot his name. Fuck. I can't even make the joke because this is an actual historical person. They're known for predicting everything. Nostradamus? Yeah.
Oh, that guy, yes.
Nostradamus shows up and he's a cross-dresser. The first time we see him, he's cross-dressing and looks identical to Brunhilde. So I could have been like, no, that's Nostradamus. Fuck you. Would have been impossible to guess.
This is her in Fate.
Brunhilde?
Yep.
This was a good idea for a video, mainly because there's so much overlap. Like,
Yeah.
why is there so much overlap?
There's actually a few Valkyries.
So that's her hair. Gotcha. Very galactical.
Ooh, Thrud is in it as well.
Yeah, and yet you didn't know who Thrud was. Shame on you.
Shut your mouth. Come on, load you son of... You go on fandom and then you click on an image and then it's like, now we're going to darken the screen so you can't click anything, but that we're not going to actually load the image.
Here's Nostradamus in Record of Ragnarok.
Okay, that's amusing. It reminds me of a certain fake character. I'll get them up in a minute. So that's Thrud.
You don't see the resemblance? Oh, Thrud, let me see. Oh, man. Yeah, Thrud looks different.
This is a character I think actually looks a fair bit like that one. I wasn't going to put this one on here, but fuck it, I'll just throw it in.
Is that Nostradamus?
No. He looks like him, though.
Shakespeare?
No.
Oh.
Shakespeare is also a certain fate, and I was going to put him on here, but I thought it'd be a bit too bland.
I think it's too obvious.
Yeah. This is a famous writer, though.
It looks like Holmes. Oh, is it who wrote Sherlock Holmes?
No.
Is it Mark Twain?
Look at the book. I'll give you more of a hint.
Oh. I guess it should. It's a book that seals shut, it looks like, with magic.
Well, what's coming out of the book?
Ice, right? Or is it just magic? Or is ice part of it?
Yes, ice. Famous story involving ice.
A historian involving ice? Oh,
No, a
jeez.
famous story involving ice.
Oh. And you said it's a writer. Like, I can tell that because the quill
Yeah.
pen / dagger.
It's a famous fairy tale, and this is the guy who wrote it.
Oh, it's not a Brother Grimm, is it?
No.
That'd be cool, though.
A famous fairy tale involving ice or snow. Come on.
Don't rush me. You gotta let me get there. It's not Tolkien. I guess I'm going too modern. It's gotta go further back, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Fairy tale involving ice. It's weird that I don't know very many. It's not Snow White or anything. It's not...
No. What do you often associate with fairy tales? Certain company, perhaps?
It's Walt Disney. No, I'm kidding. I knew it. It's Walt Disney.
It's been adapted into a Disney movie.
It has been adapted into a Disney. Is it the
Yeah.
Frozen guy?
Yeah.
I thought Ice Queen. I was thinking about the Ice
Yeah.
Queen, but I don't know who wrote that.
Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, I never would have got that.
I will give you it just because you did figure out who it was eventually, even if you didn't know his name.
I mean, I did think the Ice Queen, but oddly enough, I wasn't thinking of Disney. I was thinking of Narnia and the Ice Queen and that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was thinking like Ice Queen, but I did not even know that was like a super famous fairy tale. Well, that's Sherlock Holmes, obviously.
Yep.
It's got all the magnifying glasses for fuck's sake.
And so naturally, this
Which are not going to
one-
help him at all when they're that far away. And that's Moriarty?
That's Moriarty, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is he still a boxer?
He's an archer and a ruler class.
I didn't even know a ruler was a class.
Basically, in Apocrypha is where they introduced it, because it has a team system, well, two teams of servants. But because the Grail was taken away from the church doesn't officiate things, so the Grail summons another servant to watch over things. And in Apocrypha, that's Jeanne d'Arc.
I feel bad that I didn't know who Hans was. I'm still on that. Well, I think you only have one left, right? Was that 15 for you?
Like I said, I got 20 of them, so...
You have 20 now? You said 15 this morning. Okay, well.
I know, but I didn't want to drop any of them because it's fun.
Well, here's yours. And might I say, he has the best drip I've ever seen.
I see something on his forehead. Is he an Indian one?
Not technically. Like, there is some overlap now that you mentioned that, though. Both Indian cultures and Asian cultures. There's an overlap. Then again, Indian is Southeast Asian, right? Or South Asian, so...
Yeah. So I'm thinking either Hindu or Buddhist.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's because if you said it's Buddhist, it'd be too obvious that it's Buddha.
it is Buddha. Yeah.
He's
Which is
also
odd because he has hair. I'm pretty sure Buddha's supposed to be bald.
Buddha is actually, I think, the final boss or the penultimate boss of
You
Fate's
told me
Extra.
that. I was laughing that Buddha was someone you fight at all because I'm pretty sure Buddha is known for being, like, pacifist and stuff.
Yeah, he's a unique class, Saver class. The anime spin-off that spins off from the main characters dying during the game. He's the one who does it. He kills Nero and the protagonist.
What is with this trend of, like, so many different games and anime making Buddha, like, the final boss, despite him being the most peaceful dude ever? Because even the final boss in Azura's Wrath looks very much like Buddha and a Hindu god, and, like, then he becomes the final boss. I mean, when I see this character that you're showing me, I don't even think I want to fight him. He looks like he's just peaceful and chilling. The only thing I hate about him is the elongated ears, but that is something he did. Did they do that with gauges or just by putting something heavy in the ear, like a heavy weight or something?
I have no idea. I would guess something heavy, but yeah, that's... Japan loves doing this weird shit. Like, you'll find certain things that a lot of Japanese things do. Like, I've seen like 4 different things with Joan of Arc in them, where they have an alternate evil version of her, or she gets corrupted at some point.
Yeah.
Like, there's Fate, there's Blaze Storm, and there's like another game series and another anime.
Yep. I love that he's fighting on a broccoli sprout. just gotta fight him on a giant thing of lettuce the whole time. I still think of that one video you posted that went viral, the really short one, where it's that one enemy, I think it's in Persona. It's like the chariot or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like, it's not how it looks. What do you mean it's not how it looks? It looks like a cock. It's a willy. And it is shamelessly that too. Like if the artist even tries to deny it, that's what it is. The only way they could have been more on the ball, or sorry, more like over the target with it, is if they went straight up Dante's Inferno and just made it be a literal penis.
There are 2 things that tell you that's what it is. One is the fact that it's Mara, a pleasure demon. So obviously. Well, also another is that he has like pierce and thrust based attacks, and he'll make a lot of innuendos. And for the Chinese mobile game, they've given him a Raiden conical hat to cover his helmet. So clearly, yes, that is a giant penis monster.
Okay, what is this thing? It's a lion man? Surely this has to be a fictional thing.
No.
This is a real person, historical figure?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
this Tesla?
No.
Okay. I saw the giant batteries on his shoulder and thought it might be.
Well.
What's the well about? Is it another like famous inventor?
Yes.
Is it Edison?
Yes.
Dude, Edison would be so happy to know that he exists like this in some medium because the guy's super arrogant.
He does have a rivalry going with Tesla as well.
Am I miss looking at it, or is he actually a lion?
I think he is. I also think he looks a lot like All Might.
He is
With his
All
colour
Might.
scheme?
Yeah, he's very American as fuck. He's got the red, white, and blue.
It's such a bizarre direction. I don't get it, but you can't not love it. It's so funny.
A fun history fact for anyone who made it this far: Edison once killed an elephant using Nikola Tesla's different current of electricity to try and prove that it was dangerous. and make people side with him instead of Tesla. But all it actually did was make everyone double down on Tesla and hate Edison for killing a fucking elephant for no reason. Also, because it was an elephant, took a very long time to die from being shocked. Which is also why they hated him, because he gave it one of the worst deaths possible. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, I'm out. I gave you all of mine already, I think. Let me see, though. I think I've given them all to you. Let me just do a once over.
I've got about 4 left, I think.
Okay, give them to me. That's the gauntlet. It's like the Mega Man boss fight. I gotta fight all the dudes leading up to the big bad. Have you seen the new All Might-ish character, by the way, in My Hero, or not?
No.
So I'll just show you for fun. It turns out that All Might is actually Japanese somehow. He just went to America on vacation or something and loved it so much that he adopted the whole look.
Is this the woman who trained him?
I don't think so.
I gave up on Hero Aka around like season 3.
I mean, maybe she trained him. I think she just happens to look a lot like him. I think it's a coincidence, but they haven't explored her lore yet, but it's this chick.
Oh, no, I've not seen her.
She somehow looks even more American than All Might, who already looks very American. And then from some angles, like from the front, she just looks like a literal gender bend of All Might, like, because she has like his exact face shape even.
Honestly, the face reminds me of Cammy.
Yeah, just a more masculine Cammy. Yeah.
She's even got the hair. She got the hair at the front. Like it's just Cammy. It's like take All Might, make him female, combine him with Cammy White, and make him more American. That's exactly what it is.
America. So the one you gave me was this chick. Okay. Is it a Lancer?
Yeah. I don't expect you to know who it is, but I want you to tell me something about her identity that you might be able to figure out from looking at her.
Okay. Is it a gender bend Lancelot?
No.
Well, she looks evil because she has red eyes, but that doesn't always mean anything.
No,
Is she a villain?
I don't think so. She's kind of a mythological figure.
Kind of mythological. She's not Lilith.
No.
Okay.
I don't know if she's even human in the original stories. I'm not that familiar with it. Because she's from Irish mythology, so I'm not really that familiar with it.
Is she one of those like headless people or no? I forgot what they're called, but there's that Irish, or it might be Scottish actually, that myth of the headless horsemen, and they carry their head around.
Oh yeah, the Doolahans.
The Doolahans, yeah. So she's not that. Okay.
No.
I think you've mentioned this character before, actually, when we were having a conversation. One of those really long conversations, for anyone not aware, after the Combat King. Sometimes we just talk for 2 more hours. And I think you may have mentioned this character, Irish folklore. I wish I knew more about Irish folklore. You said she's not a human, though, so I can't say that. That wouldn't be accurate.
I'm not sure she's human, is the thing.
Yeah. She's not a siren, is she? Or
No.
like one of those water people that call you out to the...
She's like the queen of the realm of shadows or something.
Ah, Midna. Who could forget Midna?
Not looking for her name because I wouldn't expect you to. I just wanted to see if you can figure out something about her identity from her appearance.
The realm of shadows. Well, she's wearing like high stockings. Is she known for banging people? Is she like a succubi of any kind?
No. Can you guess anything from her weapon, maybe? Or her outfit?
Is it a Lance of Longinus? No, I'm kidding. That's way too out there.
Well, that's not too out there because Lucius Longinus is a servant in fate, and one of the Knights of the Round Table also wields the Lance of Longinus.
Yeah, they do. You're right. They mentioned it. That's the spear that killed Jesus. For anyone not aware what that is that we're talking about.
Yeah, the Spear of Destiny.
I just call it Longinus because even in Evangelion, for some reason that weapon exists. And I don't think it even has any prelude. It just shows up and it's like, the Lance of Longinus. And I'm like, that's an out there reference that no one's going to get. But, oh yeah, so the weapon. I'm guessing it kills somebody important?
No.
Oh, no?
It's a connection to another fate character.
Oh, yeah. It's not just Lancer's weapon?
That is her weapon. Just thinking, did it remind you of anyone else?
I just thought it looked like a generic Lancer, so I thought it was like Lancer's Lancer. But is it the other guy's weapon? The main villain? He has that like god tier weapon. Is it his or not?
No.
The golden guy? No? Alright. Do they explain what that is, by the way? His like ultimate weapon that is so powerful that no one can even replicate it?
I'm not sure. I mean, they probably explained it somewhere, because he is one of the more popular characters. He tends to show up a lot. So it probably got explained somewhere. Can you figure out a character who is connected to her?
Is it a human or a god? Or, I mean, is it a hero or a regular character?
One of the heroes, yeah. It's from one you have seen, I'll tell you that.
Is it the Medusa chick? Because they both have purple hair.
No.
Okay. That was my Hail Mary. So it's not the writer.
No.
Is it the caster lady?
No.
Damn. Does the hair color have anything to do with it?
No.
The eye color?
No.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank.
So, Lancer in Stay Night,
Yeah.
you recall, he also has a red lance,
Yes.
because she's his mentor.
Didn't I say Lancer a couple of times?
I wasn't sure if you were saying just the class Lancer or.
Oh no,
if
I
you
meant
were
the guy. I meant the dude who dies. Yeah, he who ironically always dies and seemingly the same way, always kills himself. Yeah. I just found that funny that it was the same way twice, like that Phineas and Ferb meme, right? Like if I had $1 for every time, I'd have 2, but it's still weird that it happened twice. Even when he was a good guy, like he still died the same way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, kill yourself.
She is his mentor, and that's why she's wearing the skin-tight bodysuit. Because like, when I first saw the design, knew nothing about her, I thought, that's a lame design. She's wearing like a skin-tight bodysuit. Oh, generically sexy. Then I realised, oh, because she's the mentor of another character who wears a skin-tight bodysuit. Okay, fair enough. Like it makes sense. Like a cool little connection.
Well, everybody watching at home then, I argue that I got it, because I said Lancer like 10 times, and I don't know his actual name.
I'll let you have that one. There's also another version of her. Her body's inhabited by Skadi from Norse mythology, I think.
Sky Daddy. Scatty. Okay, that's a cute one. It's a fun design.
Okay, this one shouldn't be too difficult for you to figure out, Mr. American.
Is that Billy the Kid?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. At least it makes sense for him to be a kid. Because it could have been any famous like Westerner, and they could have still made him a little boy, and it would have been consistent with the show. Oddly enough, I don't know too much about like old Westerns, but my mom is like a expert. She's watched every Western under the sun. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well. She's gone to history. Is that Cleopatra? No, you already showed me Cleopatra. Never mind. That's not Cleopatra. Gender bend or no?
Yes.
I see the unicorn head. Is this fictional or historical person?
Purely fictional.
It's not like it's not Pegasus, is it?
No, it's not even mythological. It's purely fictional.
Oh, so can I even guess it? It's still a character that exists outside of Fate.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see a giant weapon, big ball at one end. Does that signify anything? Does her weapon hint at anything?
No.
Oh shit.
Well,
she looks like a bride or a nun.
A bit. The bride part is somewhat relevant, and the weapon is actually relevant. Not as a weapon, but what is being used as a weapon.
A big ball. She has a football on her hip for some reason. It's not Eve or something, is it?
No.
Yeah. When you say purely fictional, you mean like only in a story. Gotcha. Not even religious based.
Just a person wrote a book, and this was a character in it.
Does hiding her eyes have any significance?
No.
It's just a style choice? Okay. Does the horn mean anything?
No.
That's what's so annoying, is like all these different things hint at like things that mean nothing.
One of the most famous monsters in the world.
It is?
Yes.
And it's not even in Greek mythology. It's just a separate story.
Yeah.
And it's a famous monster. It's not the Loch Ness monster or anything, right?
No.
She's not a dragon. A bride. Oh, is it the monster from or is it the chick from Beowulf? Is it like the lady from Beowulf?
No. Beowulf is in Fate.
Well, the reason I only asked that is because the bride in Beowulf, not even the bride, but the monster that he sleeps with has all those different monsters. So and she seems to have that going on with like the horn and shit. So I thought she could be the woman that Beowulf bangs.
The character is not a bride, but is associated with a bride, like famously so.
Yeah, that explains it then. But I still don't know if that helps me at all. A monster associated with a famous bride. Is the bride famous outside of the story?
Yeah.
So the bride is a real person, or is the bride just a...
Fictional character still. The bride is also a famous character.
It's not Frankenstein's monster or anything, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Because I was going to guess that multiple times for some reason. I didn't know why I kept thinking that it was Frankenstein, or the bride of Frankenstein.
Because the weapon is like a...
Conducts lightning. Yeah, the lightning rod. Fuck. But
and then you got the bride of Frankenstein and all that.
Nothing else about it. I guess the giant... Oh, the one thing that does actually give it away is the giant knobs in her head. Because Frankenstein has the bolts in his neck, but here's in the head. Yeah. That's the only giveaway. I will say, I love this ridiculous design where her hair is fed through the bolts. That's actually a fun design that I thought about copying too. But in my story, it makes sense because the characters are like full of themselves like Greek gods. So they would have ridiculous styles like that. They just look obnoxious. So is this Frankenstein or Frankenstein's bride?
Frankenstein.
That now makes even less sense. Oh, well, actually, Frankenstein does kill the monster does kill the bride of the actual Dr. Frankenstein. So I guess they're implying he stole the veil. But the veil is black.
Maybe it's just not explained as well in the anime because she's from Apocrypha. From what I understand, a lot of stuff in the anime is not done as well as the original light novel. But her backstory is largely about how Frankenstein rejected her after creating her, like tried to destroy her and stuff like that, which is tied more into the backstory from the book rather than the film.
If not for the skin being normal, I actually like this design a lot because it's creepy to think that after killing the wife, Frankenstein put on the gown and shit. That's very morbid and disturbing, which I actually like. I'm totally down for that. The problem is, due to how this artist draws things, it implies that the bride was a child, like 14 or something.
She does look very young, yeah.
And he's wearing the gown of the dead wife, it seems like. Either that or it was tailored to pretend that she's the bride. Like she wants to marry Frankenstein, which could also be possible. But I don't know why I kept thinking Frankenstein. Was it really just the lightning? They made me keep thinking Frankenstein, but no, it's ridiculous. Frankenstein. You know, I'll say this. If they just changed her skin to be either yellow, like it is in the books, it's not described as green, it's described as yellow, like dead skin, or green, like the mainstream version, I would have been more okay with it. But the fact that she's just a regular girl made it really hard. All right, I got it, though. I got the Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. Or Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah. They actually toned down a lot of the villainous stuff the monster did. More sympathetic. She's also quite simple-minded. Because she's a berserker, so she just goes around screaming the whole time. Like she says very little.
Yeah. And yeah, I know she screams like a regular woman, but it would have been funny if she screamed like like Frankenstein. Super mad. She's a berserker and looks that pretty. I thought berserkers had to look creepy.
No, basically the berserker is just someone who's really angry. Some of them aren't even like completely deranged. Some of them are just like normal people, but they get angry pretty quick. Because it'd be a bit boring if all of them were just screaming angry all the time and had no personality.
Is that all of them? Did I get all of them? I guess I did. That's 5 more.
Well, there's one more.
Oh, give it to me. Okay.
All right.
So I'm actually on a winning streak. Oh, this again looks like fan art. This looks actually very much like the Archer character, but just like they changed his skin tone.
Yeah.
Is it him?
Are you familiar with the altar concept in Fate? Like Saber altar?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Basically, under certain conditions, the characters can become corrupted.
So when he got corrupted, he became black?
Yeah, that's kind of the meme. So like because it started with Stay Night. Like this is what happened in one of the routes there with Artoria.
Oh, well, she didn't become black. She just got more pale.
Usually they are pale. But for some reason, they decided to make Archer... Because Archer already had darker skin than his human counterparts, who also had darker skin for a Japanese person.
He didn't even just have darker skin, Snake. He looks completely different as an adult. And from what I randomly Googled, they said it's because of his rebound effect from his power or something. Slowly changed his appearance over the years. And I'm like, what? Like that would be painful as fuck. I dig this evil Saber, though. I like how angry she is at me. She's like... That's the same look your girlfriend gives you when it's been too long without food.
She's also one of the more popular characters. This is like the final version you get in Grand Order when you're... Oh, it's not. It's not going to load, apparently.
Static Okia.
There we go.
That one's good, too.
There's also a rider variant for the summer.
Oh, of course. I can tell. She better wear sunscreen. She's very pale. She is going to burn really quick. Oh, my God. The artist knows what he's doing. He knows that Saber is popular. She even has a freaking garter belt. And she kept the little hat thing, the little maid top.
So she's very popular, and so they decided, let's just do this with every character. Like, what if, and hear me out, this is a completely original idea, no one's ever done it before. What if Joan of Arc had an evil version?
Yeah.
And they get to be pale. They usually are, but for some reason, this guy, the guy who's already half Xehanort, has just become black. I think they did offer an explanation for it that was deemed very un-okay. and so they had to backpedal. It's either the fans call him the Detroit version, or it's officially called the Detroit version. It's like, oh, because he's black. This Japanese man has turned black because he's evil. That's always been a weird thing to me. Japan's like, oh yeah, you give in to the Dark Hado, you become half Xehanort, you get darker skin. That's just what happens. And then it's just like, no, it's just fucking black. This Japanese man is black.
I think the artist may have just been going for the Ganon look because he has more of a Ganon skin tone where it's blackish green. It's not really a human skin tone. No one has skin like this guy in this picture, at least. Though that could be a lighting thing too, because it's green lighting on him. I'm okay with Joan of Arc being evil and a battle-ready character, despite the fact that in history, I don't think Joan of Arc ever fought anybody. I think she was just in the armor.
I think is why she doesn't have a proper class. She's ruler, which doesn't rely on anything.
That's
in
why
particular.
She fights with the flag of her people. It reminds me of that character who I love in Soul Calibur. I'm forgetting her name, though.
Oh, Hild.
Yeah, I love Hilda. Or just Hild.
I try not to pronounce it as Hilda because it ends up sounding like Hilda when I say it.
I see. I wouldn't correct you over such tiny things. I'm the man that says ketchup instead of ketchup.
And then here's one more altar servant, which is Lancer. Well, he's a dragon now.
That's
He's
just
Dragon
Lancer?
King.
That's not even Leonidas. Or that's not even Lancelot.
No, it's just Lancer.
Just Lancer. Okay. Is Lancelot meant to be a... No, Lancelot uses a sword, doesn't he, in fiction?
Yeah.
Because it would have been so funny if his name was Lancelot, as then he uses the lance a lot.
That joke has been made in Legends of Tomorrow, the DC show on the CW, because Sarah Lance is the one who has an affair with Arthur's wife, because she's the bisexual one. Sarah Lance a lot, and it's like, oh, that's what you're going with? Damn.
Yep.
Fuck
Damn.
you. But yeah, this character is really popular. He's got a bunch of alts. Like there's the child version.
Kingdom Hearts.
Basically, yeah. The Castle version where he's a pseudo servant of Odin, and it's a whole thing.
This is all very complicated. Well, I appreciate you giving me so many softballs. I'll say that right now. You gave me some that I've already seen in the show. Is that just because they were your favorite, or because you knew that I would be like completely screwed in guessing most of them?
A bit of both.
Bit of both. Because even if you gave me that, the sidekick of King Arthur, who I do know that's who that is, but I would never know her name, the one-armed character, but I would know who it is. Maybe I'm just bad with names. So apparently there's a recurring theme to give him baggy pants with belts and buckles.
Yeah, this is the prototype version, which I actually preferred this design. This looks like an ancient Irish warrior, perhaps. Not like fucking skin-tight bondage suit.
Yeah. By prototype, do you mean like they never actually used this in the manga? It's just concept?
Well, it's the original concept. A lot of things got changed by the final version.
I do like this one more too, I agree. Maybe it's just like the fur sash and all that and the armor,
Yeah.
but it does look more believable. The only dumb thing is like the pure crystal spear. Looks like it was carved out of like a stone, the whole thing.
Like I said, they made like an animated short, a fake trailer based on those concepts, and they made a light novel prequel to it. But some of those versions of the characters did make it over into Grand Order.
This reminds me of I have one random one for you then. It's not from either of the stuff we've been doing today. It's from Castlevania. Guess which character this is off this redesign.
Oh, that's Simon, yeah.
Ah, so you already know about the...
Yeah, the Lords of Shadow version.
He went through 3 different changes, because the one in between was actually the Death Note artist who had that fighting game. And all of them are Death Note versions, where he looks kind of more like a regular dude, but he just has red hair. And then for some reason they... Yeah.
What is this weird amalgamation of designs?
That's the Death Note artist. That's how he looks in that game, in the fighting game.
That's a mashup of a few versions.
Is it? Oh, my bad then. Oh, it's this one that I'm thinking of. This is the one. My bad. This is the actual one from the game.
Yeah, the one that's it's just like Yagami in bondage gear.
He does look very light Yagami, yeah. And then for some reason, someone took that and ran with it, and that's why in one of the games he looks like a buff savage man, which Simon should, because he always wore like rags and stuff, but and fur. But then he still has the red hair for some god awful reason. So that's like his final form.
Well, because the red hair was what he had in the Kojima art from the PS1 version.
I don't care. He has to be Simon Belmont must always be He-Man, because that's like how he looked, and I refuse to accept anything else. That game is fun though. The Death Note design is just fun to see all these crazy redesigns of characters, because
some of them are so weird. Like here's Eric Lacard, who was a man with a spear. Now he's a child.
yeah.
Oh, here's Maria Renard from about a year prior to Symphony of the Night when she's a young woman. Let's make her look more like she did as a child in Rondo of Blood and make her obsessed with the boobs of the rest of the cast.
Apparently, too, there's been another redesign because in that Nocturne trailer, which I'm very excited for that show, like beyond excited, the black girl with the short dreads is apparently supposed to be a redesign of the lover of Richter, the blonde girl. I didn't know that.
Seriously?
Yeah. And she's a fighter now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
At least she's doing something now. At least she's doing something. I slightly disagree with like the notion that, oh, well, characters that are there just to be love interests suck. And I'm like, not really. If they're written well, they can still be very good characters. Like Mary Jane, if written well, can still be super interesting.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be battle-ready Mary Jane who can fight stuff and all that. But yeah, that's who that is apparently. Which I don't care because I never played those games, so they can change whatever they want to, and I won't notice. You better not forget Snake, the best art of Simon Belmont to ever exist. That's the one that Ego Raptor photoshopped to look like all derpy, but then you see the original and it's still derpy. That is it then. How many did I get wrong? Like 3, 4? Not too bad.
You did well, I would say. Like, only a few that you didn't get, and the other ones you didn't get, I'm like,
Nobunaga.
yeah, that's probably I'd say it was the most egregious. Like some of the other ones are like, yeah, I see why you wouldn't know anything about the Lancer's mentor. Like I get it.
Insert joke here about American not knowing Japanese history. Oh, who's this? Is this also another? Oh wait, so we have like a coffin on her back, or not? Or is it just a statue? Is this still a Fate character?
Oh, that's an Iron Maiden.
Oh, cool. It is, yeah. I see
the spikes. It is, yeah. I chose this one actually just to close off because we're talking about Castlevania. It looks very Castlevania.
Is this Lilith?
No, it is a lady vampire though.
Oh, okay. Is she famous?
Yes.
Oh, really? I don't even know any lady vampires.
She's even in Castlevania.
Oh, is she in this show?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so she's one of the triad, I'm guessing. One of the 3 lady vampires that
Yeah.
Is it the pale one with like the white hair and white skin?
Carmilla, yeah.
Camilla. See, I forget their names. I didn't think in my head. There's the manly one, there's the leader, and there's the traditionally feminine one who's like the trickster, the honeypot.
I like the big buff one. But of
Me
course
too.
I would like that one.
There's actually, you don't have to leave this in, but there's a really, really smart inclusion to her armor that is so clever, and I can't believe that this actually exists, that someone thought of this and put it in. But you know when she wears the day armor?
The one where it's clearly just the berserk armor.
Yeah, it is, but there's one really cool inclusion where the visor is made of gold. Do you know why that is?
No.
Astronauts have gold in their visor too. Turns out it blocks UV light. It actually is like anti-sunlight when you wear gold. Super freaking smart of the artist to know that crap. Or whoever researched that, you're a genius. You found an actual way for a vampire to be able to see without getting affected by sunlight. That's really cool.
That
scene
brilliant,
is crazy too. That's one of the few moments in the show where like the art style just completely changes to fit the action scene. So when she goes nuts and just starts killing people, which I can't even applaud because you killed regular humans. We've seen that even like low-level vampires can slaughter humans like they're nothing. So not that impressive, but it's her one scene. Outside of that, she doesn't get to do too much in the show.
So Carmilla is from a novel, predates Dracula by like 12 years, something like that. So it's like really it's like the first modern vampire literature, and it's about like a lesbian vampire, Carmilla, and she was inspired by Elizabeth Bathory, who also has another counterpart in Castlevania called Elizabeth Bartley. Elizabeth Bathory is also in Fate, and this is what she looks like.
Oh.
the famous blood countess who supposedly bathed in the blood of virgins. It's actually a brilliant design when you think about it. It's like you think, what the blood countess who would bathe in the blood of virgins to retain her youth, like murdered like 400 young women. Because a lot of the stuff they do in Fate is supposed to relate to like modern day stuff. That's why Blackbeard is the way he is. Like all his weird text speech, like oh lol lol lol, meant to be the modern equivalent of the psychological games he would play with people to mess with them and such. Especially to a Japanese audience. What is the image of youth in women, like young women? What would a Japanese person think of with young women? Idols.
Yeah, fair.
So this woman who famously obsessed with youth to where she supposedly bathed in the blood of other women, a Japanese idol. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant, yeah, I think it's pretty smart. Since you mentioned Carmilla, I'm kind of mad we never got like this weapon in the Netflix show. But I'm guessing this is also only in that fighting game version.
Yeah, Carmilla's one of those very fluid characters where she can be... I think originally she was just a floating mask.
Well, I saw this PNG. I think this is her. She's like riding a skull.
I'm not sure because I know there's Carmilla and there's also Camilla. I think that might be Camilla because I know there's like two different
Oh,
ones.
do you mean this one's where it's like literally just a floating mask?
Yeah, the one that appears in Smash and everything because like a boss in Castlevania 2.
That's funny.
There's technically 3 versions of her. There's Elizabeth Bartley, Camilla, and Carmilla. So that might just be like mistranslations from the Japanese because that does sometimes happen. Like one of the characters in the N64 game was called Carrie Fernandez, and it's apparently meant to be connected to Belnades because like an alternate mistranslation of the Japanese translation of the original like Hungarian or whatever name they chose
Yeah. There's a great thread here, actually. It says, while I don't think that Carmilla will turn into a giant stone for Nocturne, I do think something like that could happen. So yeah, I'd be totally down. Like if she gets like resurrected and her soul stuck in like some floating obelisk, and that's an actual enemy, I'd be totally down. She'd be so pissed too, because she's already a really angry lady. I can't imagine how mad she'd be.
I could imagine them taking, especially since they've shown they'll take influence from anime. I can't believe we talk about this, about fucking Castlevania, this Fate and Record of Ragnarok video, but fuck
We can cut it out if you want.
Nah, we'll keep it in. Basically, I'm thinking, they take influence from anime, they did that with the Berserk armor and all that stuff. Wouldn't it be cool if that mask form she has, what if her soul is put into a mask that looks like that, and someone puts it on and gets possessed, and it's kind of like the stone mask from JoJo?
That'd be fine, yeah. I don't think JoJo's even the first one to do that. I'm pretty sure like the stone mask possession thing has been done before. Although what made the mask cool is that it like bit you, right?
Yeah, well, like on the back.
Yeah, and they made you a vampire by biting you. I do think it's cool how in JoJo they made vampires really rare. I appreciate that because in most mediums where there's vampires, there's a lot of them. And JoJo's like, no, just the one. Just Dio.
I'm sure there'd be more if Stance didn't take off.
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to Nocturne, I guess is the overall summary of all this. I've waited long enough. I do worry they've made, in the trailer alone, they've given the impression that Richter is going to be like Deku levels of Crybaby. I hope they don't do that. I hope those are like all from like similar scenes where something really tragic's happened. Don't have him crying all the time in the show. Because I don't know about you, but I always thought that Richter was like associated with being one of the most manly of the Belmonts. So kind of hope that he grows into that.
Well, comparatively, I guess, because like obviously that the most manly is going to be like Trevor and Simon because of the designs they had back then.
But I don't know, Richard being like Dracula, face me, you know, like all like confrontational is pretty cool.
You actually observe Rondo Blood, like they went for a very anime style, so he's a lot more like upbeat as a protagonist.
Oh, you don't belong in this world.
They're going to reference that, even if Dracula's not the one. Like even if Dracula's not in this, like they stick with what happened last time and say Dracula's just in his other life, whatever. Even if they do that, like you're gonna go, die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
Yeah, I hope so. They better. If not, it's a wasted opportunity. But at the same time, they're likely going to stretch this out. There's no reason to give Richter only one season when they managed to stretch 4 with Trevor.
It's definitely going to lead into Symphony of the Night, like the original game. It'll probably be like 2 seasons of this, and then they'll have Shaft come into it, and he'll like fight.
Did you say Shaq? Just kidding.
Shaft.
Yeah. Did you say Shaft? The Shaft?
They probably will get Samuel L. Jackson to do the voice, won't they?
I don't think you missed any of the ones that I gave you for this guessing game today.
I don't think so, no.
Unless I just had to spoon feed them to you, but even then you still didn't really miss. There's some that I genuinely, like, God help me, can't figure out, like Nobunaga.
I think it's just Nobunaga and Nero were the only ones you missed.
I had to help you a surprising amount with Satan, or Beelzebub. I thought you'd, like, get him pretty quick, but...
He has one of the more just, like, normal designs out of all the characters. A lot more are very extra. He's just, like, mundane by comparison, so that makes it harder to guess, because when they're extra... The extra stuff often can give you hints. He basically just rocked up in a t-shirt and jeans. Like, how the fuck am I meant to guess that?
Yeah. I do laugh at how you, when you were trying to explain Jack the Ripper to me, all you had to say was, serial killer. And I went, oh! Jack the Ripper. Despite it still looking nothing like Jack the Ripper. But maybe oddly enough, both of our shows gave silvery hair to Jack the Ripper.
I mean, it's one of those creative liberties you can take because who knows? You can't prove Jack the Ripper didn't have silver hair. Yeah. You can't prove Jack the Ripper wasn't a shape-shifting alien. You can't prove he wasn't a silver-haired lolly girl, like stabbing people. You can't prove it.
Well, the shape-shifting alien sounds like such a interesting plot for a dumb movie that would still be interesting. Kind of like Pennywise, but instead it's Jack the Ripper. He just takes the shape of different people and kills you and feeds on your blood and life force. I'm down for that idea. I'm not sure how it could be done, but in concept it sounds super fun. I would watch that or read that. I'm sure some anime has done something similar to that. They definitely
Probably, yeah.
Because there's so many more stories out there that don't actually get mass-produced but still have like one manga or something about them. There's probably a manga where Jack the Ripper goes into space and fights in a Gundam mech. Aliens are actually space mermaids. Yep.
I believe there is some kind of alien force in Fate Grand Order eventually, so you could take Jack with you to fight those. So
why not? I mean, I heard recently there's aliens in Yu-Gi-Oh. So apparently, if a show goes on long enough, you get aliens.
I mean, they've had aliens in Yu-Gi-Oh since Yu-Gi-Oh GX.
Did they?
Yeah.
Like in the actual show, not just the cards.
Yeah, like it's legit.
What? I don't remember that.
Some of Jaden's cards come from space.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Seto Kaiba says, if there really is intelligent life out there, let's teach them how to duel.
I love that line so much. And that line's even funnier when you don't realize the context. When you understand the context of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that, like, dueling is pretty much how everyone settles their beef in that world, then it kind of makes sense. You're like, oh, that's like our culture to, like, duel. So it's like if we taught aliens how to, I don't know, drive a car or something. It's a very common thing that everyone knows how to do, like how to duel. So it's like, let's teach them how to duel.
Let's teach them how to footsie.
Yeah, let's teach them fighting games. Let's teach fighting games to aliens. This is known as wave dashing.
This is the block button. It's very controversial for some reason.
I hate the block button. Like, I didn't used to hate it when I only played Mortal Kombat, but after playing so many different games and coming back to Mortal Kombat, I always forget the block button exists, eat a couple of hits early on and go, oh, right, I have to hold a button to block. Son of a gun. In Soul Calibur, it makes sense because it's got 3D movement, like perfect 3D movement. Even in Tekken, there's no block button. You can still sidestep and stuff. I'm still sad we didn't get another 3D Mortal Kombat, but at least we got Armageddon air combos, which is sick. I'm glad those are back. Too bad they didn't bring back the block glitch. How do you want to end this, Snake?
Thanks for tuning into this Combat Kings Light, I suppose, at this point.
Yeah, it could be a Combat Kings, I guess, yeah, if we wanted to do that.
We could, actually.
But if you wanted, you can have it. It's your baby. This is your kid.
If Sonic's unavailable, we could just do that.
Yeah, you know what? We've proven we don't need Sonic. He's kicked out of the group. He is now just our editor that I'll keep locked in my basement.
We only kept him on the show because we could get more revenue from the reptile reactions if we had him on. He served his purpose now. We get rid of him until...
I'll let him out every now and then. And the good news is, because he is a scaly, he can subsist on a diet of just bugs. So whenever I find in my house, I can feed him, and he will live. He will survive. He's going to get real skinny, though. I can't wait to, ask Sonic what he thinks of this, because he's one of the good boys that watches all of our videos, so I can't wait to see his reaction if he watches this whole 2 hour and 40-minute plus skit.
Oh god, it is that long. Oh yeah. Jesus fuck. Oh no.
That's why I'm saying if you want to cut out like some of the really nerdy Castlevania stuff, you can, because it's not necessary. And you can have a Patreon and have the extended cut just on Patreon. Anyway, I interrupted your outro. Please finish. Set us free.
Bye.
Yeah.